I'm not quite sure why I'm here or what I'm doing, but there's a reason. I don't like Facebook, and I don't like the internet. The library blocked my password. Now tell me, does that make any sense to you?
This is absolutely lit. This is lit, 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 lit. This is absolutely lit. This is lit, 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 lit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. How are we doing? Welcome, welcome. Come on in, get comfortable. I'm about to violate you. You're going to like it. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's non-consensual, but you'll like it. At the end of the day, you'll say, wow, I'm actually really glad that happened to me. Glad I was there to endure that. You're welcome in advance. Hi, I'm Dark Match Steve. If you didn't know that, I'm a little twink. I'm 5'7", 140 pounds, and cute as a button. Glad to meet you. I'm packing a bowl, guys. Okay, I got my little. I'm about to smoke a bong. What are we getting into tonight, guys? RFK Jr. hearing. We're going to take a look at some of that. Probably not the whole thing. The goddamn thing is like 4 hours or something. I have to be in bed early tonight, which means I can't stream late tonight. Okay? So when it gets to be like 11 o'clock and I should have already been off, chat, it's when I need you to step in. Need you to step in and say something. You say, little twink, go to bed. Okay? All right. Oh, also, guys, we got to take a look at this. We're probably going to do this first. So, James O'Keefe with OMG Media, I don't know who this guy is. I saw this like right as I was looking on Twitter for the full hearing of the RFK Jr. hearing, and I stumbled across this, and I was like, oh, fuck, we got to look at this. So it's James O'Keefe with his, his latest, it's like OMG Media or something, where it's basically Project Veritas, but not Project Veritas, and they go undercover and stuff. I think it's another one of those undercover videos. I truly haven't watched any of it at all. Don't even know, I kind of know what they get. So it's about, supposedly, James O'Keefe got some undercover footage of some people in the DOJ admitting that they're going to remove certain names from the Epstein client list. Funny. Well, I'm interested to see how they word things, because it'd be very funny if we watch this undercover video and the people at the DOJ are calling it the client list and saying they're going to remove names from it. And then we've got, Pam Bondi and everyone else publicly saying that there is no client list. This is going to be interesting regardless. So anyway, yeah, let's get to the chat. Where are we on tonight? Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, also called X by autistic people. So wherever you're at, get in the chat. I'm about to go over and talk to you, talk your pants right off of you. Should we touch on some of the Bubba stuff? So let me get to the chat. Richie April's in here. Oh, that's not the first chat. I was at the bottom. Oh, Fat Pig's in here first. Fat Pig, welcome, sir. Thank you. Yeah, I put the stream up late. I'm surprised somebody else didn't sneak in there. We got White Iced Tea is second in chat. I'm going to be riding that dick tomorrow, Daddy. You're my date. I don't care if you're actually getting your ticket from Bob Cook. You're not going to be able to keep me off of you, White Iced Tea. Good luck trying. We all heard White Ice T's call into the Bubba show talking about he wants to go to the premiere, but he doesn't want to be Dark Match Steve's +1 because he doesn't want people to think that I'm sucking his cock during the film or something, like that chick that got kicked out of the thing with the... Okay, anyway. You bastard. Should we go back and listen to that call? Maybe we will. Maybe we'll do that. But yeah, welcome, guys. Welcome. Thanks for the support. What the fuck? White Ice T sending me... I don't know. You know what? You guys both... White Ice T is telling me he was first in chat. Let me see. He sent me some pictures. What the fuck? I don't know how he's doing it. I guess the fat pig has hacked my YouTube channel and can go back and alter who was first. I have no idea what the deal is because White Ice T, maybe you're scrolled down in the chat accidentally. Like if you scrolled up in that picture, it would show the fat pigs. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But I can't wait for our date tomorrow. I'm excited. Bob Cook, thank you for supplying the ticket for White Ice Tea so that he can be my date. Thank you. Oh, fuck. It's the ending we all needed, yeah. I'm going to give you an ending tomorrow night, sir, you lucky dog. You guys are fun. You know what? White Ice Tea, you motherfucker, you project stuff. I am, when I hang out with people, when I actually hang out with friends and I'm not playing this gay character on the internet, most of you know I'm not actually gay. I'm playing a gay character because it helps me with the algorithms, I think. I don't know. It also gives me the it grants me the pass. According to society, it grants me the pass to also be critical of LGBTQ kind of stuff if I'm actually gay, and then I can get away with it better and not face any backlash. But also I think it helps me with the algorithms. But anyway, so when I'm hanging out with friends in normal life, I'm not like trying to suck any of their cocks or anything, okay? Come on, guys. White Ice Tea is projecting so hard, and then he gets in here talking about he's going to give Bob Cook a prostate milking. It's not even fair. Bart Hutchison, Scott Starbird, what's up, lovers? Welcome. Guys, I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be awesome. The Bubba the Love Sponge, Hulk Hogan, Sis X tape documentary premieres tomorrow at a undisclosed theater. You guys ready for that? You guys ready for me to go live from the theater? Live from it's going to be a live video POV of me sucking off White Ice Tea. Michael Earl Lover. Dutch Duke. What's up, guys? Welcome. Donald Ferguson, what's up? Jeff Cron. Oh, that's my intro song. I get you. Stacy G's in here. Bart Hutchison, yeah, thank you, sir. I'm surprised I got invited. I don't know if I'm almost curious if maybe my invitation was just like the merch crick being nice to me and secretly Bubba doesn't want me there. I really don't know. I'm joking, but I don't know. I'm surprised I got invited. I mean, and for sure, I'm gonna try to, at least as a thank you, send either a song or a podcast or so. I gotta send something into them. But yeah, guys, I've been super fucking busy. You guys know, at least some people know, all the kind of shit that I've had going on. It's just, things have been crazy. So yeah, guys, I have no, like, problems with them, anyone at the BRN. I'm not, I'm actually so fucking busy. And I don't need, it's like impossible that with the last 2 months, it's almost impossible to consider the possibility that I would have time to do a parody song or a podcast. It's been absolutely crazy. I've been overwhelmed. Donald Ferguson, thank you. Guys, please smash the like button. I'll pay for a new screen for your phone. Just smash that fucking thing. Rainey, welcome. Guys, Rainey is an Oklahoma realtor. She's a very cool person. She likes Cradle of Filth and Guar. She's a lot of fun. She's cool. She's trying to sell these Epstein properties. Please consider buying one. They're going for really good prices right now. Chad Brost over on the Facebook. What's up? What's up? Kevin Gable on the Facebook. What's up, guys? Thanks for hitting the like button. I see Facebook's got a few likes. Kevin Gable, me too. I didn't even make it through your whole stream. Well, we went late last night, but it was worth it. It was cool. Last night, dude, I had so White Iced Tea actually hit me up this morning when Bubba was talking about some of the Epstein stuff, and he was like, dude, you should call in and explain some of the stuff you were talking about last night on your stream. And, I wish I had time. When he called me, I was just going into work, and I didn't have time to call into Bubba's show. I barely had time to be in chat at all. But I did hear White Iced Tea's call live when he mentioned me. But anyway, yeah, and I have had a few other people say, like, yeah, dude, the Epstein shit was crazy. And, I guess I know a few, key points of the whole thing. And, dude, I don't know. It's it's crazy, man. It's as much as I've been into conspiracy stuff, this is what I'm getting at. It's like, it still shocks me in a way. It's like, I feel like I am grizzled a little bit just from knowing some of the ideas and possibilities of, different secrets and stuff that the government is keeping covered up and whatnot. And just, I shouldn't be shocked anymore, but it's still like, when you really look at all of it, that's kind of why I like going deep and I like being able to do like a 3-hour stream where we're like, and I know some people leave and come back and whatever, but I like being able to like lay out a whole thing. And when we go through a stream, there might be a bunch of different things that we stumble onto or, have explained in a certain context for the first time. And I think it's really, it helps to keep everything in focus, to be able to do like a 3-hour stream where you're kind of in the same vicinity of a subject, of a certain subject matter, and we can just like really get into it. Read through of the JP Morgan settlement that involved Epstein and get into all that shit. I mean, dude, that shit is crazy. It is absolutely crazy, the timeline we're in right now, undeniably. And and when I do some of these streams where we get into, it's like, there's a lot of this stuff that it's like I've heard and kind of know and whatever. But when we actually just read it all through and get our fucking hands dirty on here, it just really is. It's crazy to just like, to see it all and really consider the situation that we're in, guys. It's actually nuts. Richie April, RFK Jr. owned Pocahontas today. That's what I heard. We're going to try to find some of these clips because I don't think we're going to make it through a 3-hour JFK Jr. hearing when he's talking like this. I can't take 3 hours of this. I can't take 3 hours. We'll be live till fucking midnight. Oh, that's exhausting doing a RFK Jr. impression. K-Dog Lover, welcome. Y'all have to hold hands? I'm down. My actual +1 is Adam Wiley. You guys have to understand, White Iced Tea, this is the thing. He's making it sound so much gayer than it actually is. White Iced Tea made it sound like that was a requirement. He made it sound like I told him, you can be my +1, but you know what I need from you. That's just not how I roll. Festus, welcome. I'll be your +1. Yeah, Adam Wiley, he should be in the chat eventually tonight, but Adam Wiley is my +1. And what happened was White Iced Tea was wanting to go. I thought White Iced Tea was like on the list to get invited. I don't know who's, what list they got who on, but I assumed that he was because I know he's been to BARP, but the thing was he was a +1 the times he's gone to BARP, I think. So that's why I think I was confused. But anyway, I thought about inviting White Iced Tea, but I kind of thought he was already going. So I was just like, all right, I'll invite Adam. Adam reposts the stream like every single fucking night. And he's, he has my personal number. We've hung out a bunch of times. He came to my Halloween party, all that shit. So I invited Adam, but White Iced Tea was wanting to go. And he hit me up and I was like, dude, I don't know if I can do more than 1 +1. I don't know if I can get another ticket, but let me see, whatever. And then I talked to Merch Crick about it, but then White Iced Tea called into the show and told them, he was like, yeah, I'm supposed to be Dark Match Steve's +1, but I'm not gay. So he was trying to get Bubba to let him get his own ticket. Because there was talk about maybe you could get an extra +1, but you have to like request it through the email or something. And I didn't see how to do it through, if there was a place to click. There's like 3 emails I got, 3 or 4 of them. So anyway, I never figured that out, but apparently Bob Cook is going to let White Iced Tea come as his +1. They're going to do the Bubba popcorn gimmick. That's funny. We should. The glorious and mysterious pig. He's back in the chat. I hear the fat pig is trying to replace me with Scott Starbird. They're going to do a whole show together tomorrow or something. Festus says, why hasn't Bubba had you on as a guest host? ? Festus, who are you? Have you been in the chat before? Are you new? I don't know what's going on with that. I just there was supposed to be a whole deal that after I did, we'd have to go back and look at it. There's Bubba said initially when he gave me the opportunity with the podcast, he said something after I do 2 or 3 episodes that would be like my probation period or something. They would see if like I'm okay, if the podcasts are like decent. And then he said something would happen after that. I literally don't remember, and I'm sure they don't either. But they're not really clamoring to have me in there. And I mean, I've kind of begged for a long time. So I just like, I'm kind of just like, I'm building my own channel. And, you know, if they're interested, I feel like they'll let me know. You know, Bubba sees, you know, there's a bunch of different, even Tig's Bits. You guys remember Tig's Bits? Bubba just found them randomly on YouTube somewhere or something because Tig's Bits covered the Hogan tape. They talked about the Hogan tape or something and then invited them to be part of the podcast and whatever the fuck. You know, it's like if Bubba wants me in there, he will ask. He knows that's what I've wanted to do for like 6 years now. They all know that. So I don't know. You know, maybe he doesn't think I'll mesh with the show, and that's fine too. I'm trying to seriously. I don't want heat with anybody. I don't want whatever. I just, you know, yeah, I don't know. To be real, guys, I mean, I'm not like still mad about it or something, but I called into Bubba's show. The last time I called into Bubba's show was before Hogan died. And I called in to talk to Bubba about what I'm discussing right now. And I sat on hold for, I think it was like an hour and 5 minutes or something like that. And Bubba was literally talking about Hogan the whole time. And remember, this was before Hogan died. It was Bubba was explaining the same 3 stories about Hogan that we always hear. So I was just sitting on hold. It was like, you know, it was like a form of torture. I felt like I was at Abu Ghraib or something, being forced to listen to Hogan stories that I've heard 1,000 times. I'm playing. But no, for real, I called to talk about that and to ask for the Whites for Warren t-shirt because I did the song. And I kind of got jobbed out for whatever reason. You know, so it's like I tried calling in to talk about it. And guys, I don't have that was my last full hour that I could give to Bubba in the morning to just be like kind of thrown away like that. I don't know. I'm just like I'm not gonna like chase them down. If they want me there, they'll let me know. Festus, now I know you're full of shit. You're much more talented than any of the other hosts. Now I know you're fucking with me. This is a troll, guys. Thank you. Well, you're welcome here. We like trolls here. Please just remember to hit the like button or the dislike button if you actually hate me. Trying to get through the chat. Let's get this started. Festus, is it still on after the temporary injunction? What, you're talking about the Hogan thing? The doc? Yeah, the doc's still on. K-Dog said, are you talking to me or are you replying to someone else in chat? Bubba loves you, bro. He is just up to his ears and shiz. Yeah, that's fine. I love Bubba. I love everybody at the BRN, even if they don't love me back. That's okay. I've had to deal with that a lot in my life. It's depressing. But yeah, fucking Seth, Lummy, Mach, all of the fucking people on rotation, Tuttle, the Diacos. I fucking love all of them. They've all been really, really good to me. You know, I mean, I got no heat with anybody. Okay, I'm not going to read that, Festus. Why hasn't Seth scooped you up for the podcast? So the thing with the podcast, and I get it, guys, look, the BRN's running a tight ship. If it were seriously like they offered me money to do a podcast, I would like do something like we'd cut the stream short, maybe 30 minutes a night, and I could put together a podcast in like 2 or 3 nights. You know, I'd do like half an hour or an hour one or two nights a week to like get one together and then edit it one night. And I could whatever, because I do need money, but they don't. The thing with the podcast, I think you have to, if you are doing one of the podcasts and you want to get for the BRN, I don't think they're like paying for the podcast. A lot of the people are doing it for exposure, like the fucking Operation Pigmentation guys. They have a business, and it kind of it at least got them some extra exposure for the business. I don't know if I guess they're still not doing the podcast. I don't know. I want to get on the rotation, and I don't. I understand, like, whatever, doing it for free to get some exposure and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Guys, I've been crazy busy. I'm telling you, my mom has not been doing well. It's not looking good. It's really not looking good. People are saying Buzzer Bob might make a surprise appearance at the Bubba movie premiere. Maybe he'll eat my ass. Maybe he'll eat White Ice Tea's ass. What song is that? Bubba, don't leave me. I'm in my head again. Creed. I'm not that familiar with Creed. What happened with Tuttle? I texted him. I haven't gotten a reply, which kind of scares me. Actually, let me text him again, because I don't know if I should text him again. I don't want to bother him. If he's actually sick or going through it and does not want to talk to anybody, I don't want to bother him. Everyone crashed the party. I don't think the theater's been leaked, has it? It hasn't happened on this channel. I know that. I've been watching the chat too, making sure no one else mentions it. Truth is unbreakable. I don't know if I shouted you out. Welcome. Good to see you. God damn, you guys are all up in the chat. I was trying to get to the bottom of it. I'm trying to read everything. Kevin Gable said you got jobbed out because you're a jobber. No, that's fair. I am. Take out the nipple rings. That's enough already. What are you talking about? These fucking moneymakers right here? I'm not going to play with them. I think that might be a TOS problem. Nice try, fat pig. Trying to get me to play with my titties on here. All right. Holyoke Joe. Holyoke Joe has a 3XL Whites for Warren shirt. Yeah, you know what? It pisses me off that Holyoke Joe got a 3XL Whites for Warren shirt and I didn't get a Whites for Warren shirt. That's fucking bullshit. You could make 3 Whites for Warren shirts out of Holyoke Joe's 1 Whites for Warren shirt, okay? That is not fair. That means he's over 3 times as important as me. Holyoke Joe, do you hear that? That means I'm over 3 times the jobber that you are. I hope you feel good about that. I hope you feel really happy and my sadness inspires you. T. Barrington, welcome. Holyoke Joe is blessed. He's had a blessed life, he has. Festus, I appreciate the sentiment. I mean, I don't agree. I feel like, yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't think I'm more talented than whatever. I mean, I will say there are a lot of people that are really funny on Bubba's show, and I don't know. I will say I have to give myself a pat on the back. My stream's pretty damn good. My stream's pretty good, guys. Oh, it ain't easy just doing a stream by yourself, let me tell you. Co-hosting is a whole different deal. Not that I would know. I've only hosted by myself, but I imagine it's a little bit easier when there's like 5 other people talking. Maybe less. Actually, it's probably easier when there's like 3 people. 2 or 3 other people. Probably after 5, it gets harder. It goes in the other direction. All right, so let's get to it. Should we play the Bubba call from today? White Iced Tea's call. Let's do that real quick. Now we've been talking about Bubba. Let's play this real quick, and then we'll get on to everything else. Because we got to watch this undercover video, guys. I'm telling you, that's nuts, man. Bubba, #1 documentary in the world. It's the title from the show today. Let me get you guys on this tab with me. So here you go. #1 documentary in the world. They fucking reached #1. And by they, I mean the documentary people, not Bubba, because I swear to God, this is not Bubba's documentary. He has no money in this, guys. I swear. Okay, where were we? Where's his call? It's like one of the last things that happens today. Hold on.
On that list.
Wait, 355.
It's World War III if those names come out.
Oh boy, let's hear the rest of the beginning of this call. This is about Epstein. Let's listen to this jobber.
Aquabito Studios, aquabito.com.
No one knows as much about Epstein as I do.
/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Got a few callers to quickly go to. Hopefully they're good ones. Before we end the, by the way, the Blizzard podcast today, Brian Petroni and, of course, Seth Kushner. Don't forget to go and again, this is not available for another 8 days, but lock yourself in and have
Holyoke Joe, what are you saying? Is this my name backwards? SMD? DMS? Is that you're talking about me, or are you talking about somebody else? Had the open door to do podcasts on Bubba's network, but then stopped doing them because he's lazy. What do you mean because I'm lazy, Holyoke Joe? Then blames Bubba. Dude, there's a lot of factors that go into it. Joe, I don't even know, like, what are you trying to get at? Open door to do podcasts, but he stopped doing them because he's lazy. Thanks, Joe.
it all pre-bought and be ready to go for next Friday, September 12th, and the release of the documentary that I don't have any ownership in, but am very much featured. Video Killed the Radio Star, the untold story of a wrestling icon's sex tape scandal. Notice how they've changed the wording a little bit there.
Felix, $20.
There's a film trailer for you to be able to watch. You can literally go to videokilledtheradiostarmovie.com. I think on our Facebook and on our Instagram and on our X and about every other place, we got this particular link here. You can sign into iTunes, and the incentive is that it's going to cost you $19 or $20, $19.99 next Friday. But it'll also be available on Amazon and Google Play. But if you're going to buy,
this is a cool. Whoever designed this, the hot chick in a bikini with the Hogan disc on fire. That's actually kind of a good design there. I like that.
At early through Apple TV, you're going to save $5. It's $14.99 on the pre-sale. We pretty much yesterday through the entire afternoon trended #1 in the world on Apple TV and documentaries. I think right now we're at 2. Some stupid documentary about a guy named Jeff.
Yeah, that guy's
and Brian brings up a great point. People can click on that and buy it and watch it right now. You can't get ours until next Friday, and the pre-sale, for us to be in the position that we are just in pre-sales is.
The Buckley guy the first one that came out with the Hallelujah song.
What's that?
I said, my mic was off. Isn't the Buckley guy the first one that came out with the Hallelujah song? Like that. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
What does that have to do with?
I'm just saying he had a big hit.
Oh, he's dead, and there's a
Babyface never misses an opportunity to sing a smash hit out of key.
Documentary about him, and he's currently #1 and I'm #2, and we're #2, and I'm not happy about it. So please go buy it if you can. Don't invest it. Hello.
Already bought it, Bubba. Hey, I got a question.
Shut that kid up
about the Epstein stuff. So what if the owner of the conservative grounds, what if he's right? What if the names on that list, if they were to be declassified, what if all hell breaks loose? I mean, how many people have really learned to swim? Because that's really what it boils down to. The names on that list, it's
learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim. Tool. That's a Tool song.
World War III, if those names come out. But also, like you guys somebody just said, why didn't they say it during the C-SPAN press conference? What's holding the survivors back? She said it. If they keep quiet, they can't begin healing. So what's the holdup?
Maybe they don't want to be the ones that have to face the heat from it. Let it be in the documents and let the proof, the evidence come out, not just the names, because that's where the evidence would be of those that enabled.
And and here's the thing. Now you got something.
Man, if I was an Epstein victim, if I was an Epstein victim, I would have everything lined up for me to disappear. I would just go somewhere remote where I'm allowed to own guns. And I would just open the floodgates and say, you know what? If some Israeli spy comes and blows my fucking head off, so be it.
That you haven't had, and that is you got these survivors that are quickly organizing and be like, if you're not going to do it, we will. I mean, that's the level of effery that we're at right now. Like the expression, Brian, the shiz is already out of the horse. I don't think you can put the shiz back in the horse here. I think this is too far gone.
I like the jelly out of the donut better.
Tim Walls once tried to put shiz back into a horse's ass. White Ice Tea said, survivors, you mean willing participants. White Ice Tea, they were minors. My dude. Babyface is right. Bubba's Doc will be back to #1 when people can actually watch it. Holyoke Joe said, wrong. Everybody's wrong but me. It's back to #1 already. That's good to hear. Richie. Tampa Richie says, one of those ladies talking last night was the one who sold girls to Epstein for $200 each. What? She was probably a victim too. They said, go find more girls for me to fuck, or I'm going to stick my egg-shaped cock inside you again. Nobody wants that. So you better go find more girls younger than you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Buddy,
so let it out,
yeah, let it out. I could absolutely care less who is on that list. Let it out.
Yep, let it out. And get those girls protection for life, because any child that had to go through that, man. Listen.
Dude, I don't think people are truly considering. Oh, Scott Sarbert says, I don't have Apple. It's #2 on Android. True. Fucking, what was I going to say? I don't think people are truly considering the guy. I don't remember his name, but one of the guys from the PBD podcast made a actual realistic point with if this is actually anywhere near as bad as it looks like it might be in terms of the high profile, powerful people that are on this list, or whether there's a list or not, or it's, let me get you the chat. Let me get the chat up. The chat is officially up. Sorry, I forgot to click the button here. But if it's as bad or anywhere near as bad as some people think that it might be, like there are actually a staggering number of world leaders and or CEOs of banks, as we were looking into last night, guys. JP Morgan settled for like $200 some million, settled out of court because they were getting sued over their involvement helping Jeffrey Epstein. If it is as bad or nearly as bad as we think it could be, just think if it's something like the CEOs of 90% of the biggest banks on the planet. What if it is a large percentage of world leaders? It will, if the list comes out and some vigilantes just start chopping these motherfuckers' heads off, you guys realize it will actually impact the economy, right? Guys, there's a chance. I get it. I'm trying to be realistic. It's probably not that bad. There's probably a lot of high profile people, but it's probably not something that'll actually stop the world from turning. But could it be that bad? Could it actually be that bad? We already know JP Morgan helped Jeffrey Epstein. Are there a bunch of people in that high profile of positions? If that is the case, it could actually be bad for all those people to get like murdered within the same week. You guys realize that, right? Like that could actually be a problem. So I mean, that's that's like, and also we, like I've discussed as well, there's like, if it's anything like we're thinking, there has to be ongoing investigations and stuff. So that goes like with every other high profile type of murder or something where they're doing press conference on the news. They always lie about whatever and hold back information that they have because of ongoing investigations and stuff like that. So there are legitimate reasons to hold back these names. But again, what at least my issue is the way Trump is talking about it, because the good justifications for keeping the names quiet and not releasing the files, the good justifications aren't, it doesn't seem like those are the reasons given the way Trump is talking about this. It sounds like Trump is actually trying to just make it go away. And that is concerning.
And as a 3-time ex-con in the state of Florida, I beat more pedophiles than I have teeth in my head. And I'm here to tell you, those kids, well, they're adults now, but any kid that had to go through that, yes, they deserve protection.
That's great, Bub. That's great, Bub Army right there.
It's a good dude. Let's get him some movie tickets.
3-time con, and he has beaten up more pedophiles than he had and knocked out more teeth. And I love it.
How many teeth do you have, sir?
I love your swagger, my friend.
Every single one. Mine
he only has one tooth.
It's a molar, so quite a few.
Thank you for buying the doc, my friend.
And thank you for beating up pedophiles.
And use your social media to promote it if you can.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Thanks, Bubba. Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy. And thank you for beating up pedophiles. No, like really, genuinely thank you, because I don't know if that we can necessarily hire people to beat up pedophiles.
It's something only a 3-time felon could do,
So
Bubba.
if you're a guy and you take it upon yourself to do it and we haven't asked you to do it, I can thank you thereafter, can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, there
So
you
I've
go.
got some.
But film it and put it on Twitter or someplace. We want the content. We want to watch pedophiles get beat up. Come on.
New numbers from Apple, Bubba. You are number 1 with convicted felons right now in the world.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome. So feel good with that, buddy. You are number
3
1.
times. Hello, you're on the air.
Bubba, it's Jeff over in Oviedo, U.S. Customs guy.
Hi, bud. How you doing?
Good. How have you been?
Good. Just trying to pre-sell this dock and stay number 1.
Yeah,
I've slipped
good
to
luck
number
with
2.
everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Wish you nothing but the best. Mrs. Federal Gimmick just sent you another Bubba card. Bubba said.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll be looking
I
for
guess
that.
she said she found a banner or something. I don't know what she was talking about. She's up in Reno right now. But she found a banner or something that goes with it. It's kind of a cloth-type banner with you on it, with that same wrestling picture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she sent it all out to you.
And so I'm assuming we haven't gotten it yet, but we'll be getting it soon.
I imagine it'll be there today.
Perfect. I'll be looking for it.
But I just wanted to let you know, and again, thank you for all you do, and we're going to help you corner the market on the cards.
Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you.
You take care.
All right, man. 2 more calls. Let me. We're out of here, and then there comes the blizzard rolling right on in.
Woo.
Hello.
Bubba,
Oh boy, here we go. This is what I was waiting for. Bubba, white iced tea. Let's get the whole 358. What? Get out of here.
And so I'm assuming we haven't gotten it yet, but we'll be getting it soon.
I imagine it'll be there
Bubba, white iced tea.
today.
Perfect. I'll be looking for it.
But I just wanted to let you know, and again, thank you for all you do, and we're going to help you corner the market on the cards.
Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you.
You take care.
All right, man. 2 more calls. Let me. We're out of here, and then there comes the blizzard rolling right
Rainy, yes it is. We're playing the white iced tea call.
on in.
Woo.
Hello.
Bubba, white iced tea.
Hey, white iced tea. Did you pre-buy the dock yet?
Of course I did.
Okay.
Everybody go pre-buy the fucking dock. Let's keep this thing at number 1. Come on, guys. We need to do this. I might I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna do it. I've been invited to the fucking premiere thing. I'm gonna do it. It's $15. I can afford that. Okay. I'm gonna set up a deal and pre-buy this. It's going till tomorrow, right? The pre-sale? I gotta set it up tonight or tomorrow. Guys, is this still going through tomorrow? I'm gonna do it. Everybody needs to go do it. Guys, let's get this in the good rotation. This could actually be crazy. This could actually be crazy. If this shit goes like viral. Bro, I do, this is Bubba's fight, but I do get giddy thinking about Calta stewing, sitting there with shit in his ass crack in between the moles, being pissed off at how much attention Bubba is getting. Something about that just makes me smile inside.
Thank you.
Dark Match Steve just invited me to be his +1 at the movie event.
Okay.
Tomorrow. But I don't want to go with Dark Match Steve because I don't want people to think I'm his boyfriend or something. So is there any way I can just get my own ticket?
You just don't.
You motherfucker. You know what? You motherfucker. You should be honored. You should be honored and grateful that someone would think that you are scoring a hot piece of twink ass like me, motherfucker. You should be walking in there trying to hold my hand so that people do get that impression. You should be honored. Look at all these people in the chat. Man, I wish I was your +1. There are plenty of people in the chat that would be more than happy to walk in literally holding my pockets, you motherfucker.
Walk the aisle with them.
You better walk that fucking aisle with me.
It's going to be hard to do, man. He's going to be wanting to talk to me in front of people and stuff.
Wanting to talk to you? No, you know what? I am going to give you the coldest fucking shoulder that whole time. You motherfucker. He's going to be trying to talk to me. Give me a fucking break. No fucking way. No fucking way I got White Iced Tea calling in, roasting me. Boom, fucking roasted. Fat Pig wishes he could roast me this fucking hard. I'm going to call in tomorrow and tell them that we did 69. I'm going to start the gayest rumors about us, White Iced Tea. This is your fault. This is your doing. You push the pendulum one way, and I'm pushing it. It's going to swing 10 times as hard the other way and do a fucking 360.
I mean, dude, nobody thinks you're gay. Why
I'm going to make AI pictures of us butt fucking each other and release them on Twitter. You asked for it. You asked. ASS.
Be secure in your sexuality. Okay?
He's forcing me to wear a rainbow shirt.
And let me tell you right now, it's not gay if you wear a cowboy hat. So just keep that thing on at all times. And
you wear one all the time, Brian. I know that already, buddy.
Just don't take a picture like you guys are a couple on the red carpet.
Skip the red carpet
and ditch him as soon as you get through that door.
Don't ditch it. He's a good guy.
Seth, you better stay out of this, or I'm gonna take a picture with you.
Yeah, but I mean, he wants. Next thing you know, you sit beside you, holding your hand. Might make White Iced Tea a little bit
trying
uncomfortable.
to go down on me in the movie theater.
Hold on. I gotta let you go. I gotta let you go. I gotta let you go at that point.
You think you're Alanis Morissette and he's Dave Coulier?
I'm not. White Iced Tea. We're not gonna put those allegations on Dark Match Steve. He's a great listener.
No, that's fair. I would do that. White Iced Tea. That's fair. It's not out of bounds.
But I'll tell you, everybody else better watch your pecker on Friday night.
Yeah,
Seth's in the house.
No, Dark Match Steve is in the house, my friend.
If Seth comes up to you and asks you what the capital of Thailand is, don't answer.
I know. Jeez, cancel the blizzard. I can't do this, Bubba.
I'm feeling you, my friend.
I'm exhausted.
Dear God. I'm done with you guys. I'm sick of being a victim. I'm done with you, chat. Everybody's laughing. It's real funny, isn't it, guys? It's real funny. Best call ever, huh? I quit. I quit the stream. I quit being a public personality on the internet. I'm done. This is where I call it quits. Drawing the line. You guys took it too seriously. I was just like, hey, it'll be funny. I'll pretend I'm gay for internet clout. And here we go. Now I'm just a little cocksucker who can't keep my mouth off of other men's penises while we go watch a movie about Hulk Hogan banging Bubba's wife. You guys really think that I'm going to go watch a movie about Hogan banging Bubba's wife and that's going to get me turned on and I'm going to try sucking dicks? Give me a break. Hate you guys. Hate you. Never liked you, chat. Okay, let's look at this. Enough about me being a faggot. Let's look at this video. Let's talk about Jeffrey Epstein banging kids. Who said? K-Dog says all jokes. Jokes are done. Joke time is over. It's hate time now. I hate everyone. I hate everyone. I'm angry because I'm gay. You guys make fun of me for it. All right, let's look at this. So this is Joseph Schnitt. Probably a member of the IDF, but that's neither here nor there. DOJ deputy chief admits government will redact every Republican while leaving all the liberal Democrat people on the Epstein client list. Guys, what are we doing here? Is this real life? This is our government. This isn't the government of fucking Zimbabwe, okay? This is our government altering documents to take the Republicans' names off of the Epstein list. These are dark times indeed. Maxwell, got transferred to a minimum security prison It's against BOP policy because she's a convicted cis ex-offender. Ghislaine Maxwell was moved to a lower security prison as a benefit to keep her mouth shut. Tisk, tisk, tisk. All right, guys, remember, these are the people being protected by the banks, the same banks that will shut you down if you talk about Israel. Remember, guys, these are the arbiters of truth and morality within our government, and they are completely cooked. We are cooked.
Well, those files do exist.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of pages of files.
Acting Deputy Chief, Office of Enforcement Operations, DOJ. Thousands and thousands of pages of files. All right, so let's watch this. We'll start and stop and talk about what we need to talk about. I literally have besides what we've read, I have no idea what's in this. I have not watched this. I just stumbled across it when I was setting up the thumbnail for the stream tonight, and I was like, oh, we can't skip this. Tomorrow night, it's going to be all Bubba content. I'm going to be live from the premiere. We're not going to be able to go over any like news stuff or whatever. So we can't skip this tonight, guys. It can't wait.
They'll redact every Republican or conservative person in those files. Leave all the liberal, Democratic people in.
All right, so there it is. They'll redact every Republican or conservative person in the Epstein files. Leave the liberal, Democrat people in those files.
They visited that Maxwell person.
Yeah.
And also involved.
Got transferred to a minimum security prison too recently, which is against BOP policy because she's a convicted sex offender. They're offering her something to keep it on shut.
That was the acting deputy chief of the Office of Enforcement Operations, Joseph Schnitt, telling a stranger about the FBI and DOJ's handling of the Epstein files. Schnitt, who works at a high level inside the department.
Bro, how does this stuff not get out more easily? This is crazy. I know I probably say this every time, but it is mind-boggling to me how James O'Keefe gets these fucking government officials to fucking spill the beans to complete strangers. Who are these honeypot people he is hiring? I mean, we never really get to see them, but they must be like drop-dead gorgeous. He is hiring the hottest twinks and 304s that money can buy because these motherfuckers get so hot and bothered, they'll just tell you everything. All the government secrets. This is like this is a security issue, I think. This is how well honeypotting works. We see it in real time. It's like, it's scary. People in our government will just spill the beans if they have a hard-on. That's how easy it is. Just get their dick hard and they'll tell you everything. You don't have to torture them, waterboard them, just get their dick hard.
Of justice.
That's what I try to do for the chat every single night. And instead, I just sit here getting hard.
Goes on to comment on the inconsistent statements, special treatment of Ghislaine Maxwell, and the blatant backtracking on promises of transparency.
What do you do for work here?
I work for the Department of Justice.
Okay.
Been there like 23 years. I'm an analyst. I'll be acting deputy chief of our office for a few months starting next week. I work closely with like all the federal law enforcement agencies and the U.S. attorney's offices, the prosecutors and stuff. The thing is, it's interesting.
This guy thinks he's going to fuck. Look at him. He's got the glasses on. Oh, yeah, I work for the DOJ. I've worked there about 23 years. I communicate with all of the agencies, Bureau of Prisons, Marshal Service,
Because I do deal with so many of the agencies, like the Bureau of Prisons, the Marshal Service, the FBI, U.S. Attorney's offices.
Recently, the FBI and DOJ have come under fire for promising transparency.
That guy is praying. This guy is absolutely praying to the good Lord that those sunglasses are going to help him get his dick wet. I'm praying for you too, brother. You just let out all of our government secrets showing how we're going to protect pedophiles, and you're not going to get your dick wet. Come on.
Then refusing to release footage and unredacted documents, going directly against the public's expectations and the promises made by Attorney General.
Oh my God, this is juicy, guys. So here we go. He's laying it out. Look, they changed. They were saying there's a list. Then they started saying there wasn't a list. But then we have in private, they're talking about a list. That's funny. That's really funny how that works.
Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel. In a DOJ press release, Attorney General Pam Bondi stated, quote, "This Department of Justice is following through on President Trump's commitment to transparency and lifting the veil on the disgusting actions of Jeffrey Epstein and his co-conspirators," unquote, and also claimed they were shedding light on Epstein's extensive network, only to later claim that Epstein was acting alone and that the only video evidence they had was of...
Guys, we're not getting anything. I told you guys. I called it. I fucking called it from the get-go. I was like, the way Trump's talking, there's no way. I mean, there's a lot of other factors that told me that, but Trump getting elected was like the last-ditch effort to possibly, the only glimmer of hope that maybe we'd get some transparency. Maybe the truth would see the light of day when it came to some of this Epstein stuff. And that little glimmer of hope has been snuffed out. To me, it became painfully obvious as soon as Trump started talking about that this is a hoax. Guys, I knew we were fucked. I knew they may, I was thinking they may release stuff later, but there's no way they're going to give us everything. There's no fucking way. Trump doesn't start calling this a hoax with plans on releasing it later. It's one thing for him to say, to sort of hint. He campaigned basically hinting that they would release a lot of this stuff. Most of the stuff he said, I mean, people directly asked him and he answered, yeah, we'll release the Epstein files. But he was mostly, when it was unprovoked, he would sort of hinted that he would release all this stuff. It's one thing to hint that you'll release it and then go back on that. I don't think if you're Donald Trump, you go around saying that something is fake and it's all complete. It's a hoax, like it's a complete hoax. And then with plans in the future to then release all of the information. No way that that's possible.
Epstein's personal child porn collection.
Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein.
Listen to that delivery. That is the most bullshit acting. This is like the worst. Who taught Pam Bondi how to lie? Because let me tell you, she's not good at it. Listen to this. All of those thousands of videos we said that was evidence of Jeffrey Epstein and his co-conspirators, turns out it was just CP that nasty, terrible, disgusting Jeffrey Epstein downloaded. Oh my heavens. He is the worst. Good thing he's dead. Now we can all move on.
Child porn is what they were.
In the same press release, Kash Patel claimed, quote, "There will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, and no stone left unturned."
So on the Epstein matter or any other matters, we are diligently working on that. I'm not going to withhold information from the American public.
Only to later claim on Joe Rogan's podcast that releasing any videos would re-victimize those affected.
We're not going to re-victimize
Oh, fuck.
women.
We're so cooked.
We're not going to put that shit back out there. It's not happening, because then he went.
Hold on to your shorts. We're fucking cooked.
Not doing it. You want to hate me for it? Fine.
But, internally, there's a lot of, even within the administration, there's internal conflict.
Oh, okay.
The head of FBI really wants it. Second in command at FBI has been causing problems because he's like, no, these have to be released.
Yeah. So the FBI wants them out.
Yep, the top two guys that do that.
Bro, I bet Dan Bongino I bet Dan Bongino was actually stupid enough to think that, oh, I'm a cool conservative guy and I talk about some conspiracy stuff. And you know what? I'm going to get in there and work for the FBI and I'm going to get these released myself. I'm going to do it, guys. I bet he actually had a, like, you know, it's like a fucking retarded kid that thinks he's going to become, you know, the chief of police or something. They're just like, I'm going to do it, mommy. I bet he really thought that. That's pathetic.
And Bonnie does it.
I don't know what Bonnie wants. Bonnie wants whatever child.
Sure. Why is there suddenly this
Yeah, we could tell. Bondi is just a fucking you know, something that could pass as a pretty puppet. She's basically, you know, like a Miss Piggy Muppet.
internal conflict within the same administration that aggressively campaigned in 2024 to fully release the Epstein files to the American public? What new revelations did the DOJ and FBI make to now say that an incriminating client list does not exist? DOJ analyst Joseph Schnitt comments on these inconsistencies and informs.
Hold on a second. What is the chat saying? No, Scott. Yeah. The disgusting Jeffrey Epstein, who I let go free in Florida. Exactly. Guys, it's such a bad act, too. Pam Bondi is almost, and this is showing, guys, you know, my standards for judging how fake and full of shit these politicians are, they really do not, my standards don't follow, they don't toe political lines here. Pam Bondi is like the Kamala Harris of the Republican Party. She really is. She doesn't seem as much like she's drunk or on pills, which is refreshing, but Pam Bondi is it's not even passable. Like, to me, when she talks, it is the most fake bullshit ever. Okay, Trump is like, you know, if you're following along here, I mean, at this point, I think, and probably most people think, that Trump is lying about what's up with this Epstein stuff and he's hiding something. Most people can tell that. But a lot of the times, Trump's delivery with stuff, has too much experience with being on TV and being an entertainer and everything. So he sort of has this, Trump already has this sort of character that when he delivers things to the public, he is sort of, Trump knows how to work a camera and stuff. And again, guys, let's not, I know Sniz might be in the chat. Don't get mad at me. You know, I'm still holding out hope that maybe there's a good reason for all of this to happen the way it is. I kind of doubt it, and I'm not betting my money on that. But you know, Trump, look, with this Epstein shit, Trump is lying. Let's be real, guys. I know there's some MAGA people that are probably in the chat. I'm sorry, Trump lies. He does. Let's just face it. We can argue about who lies more or whatever the fuck and reasons for lying, but he lies. And I feel like his delivery, he's too experienced with TV and stuff to where it's not really obvious when Trump is lying and when he's not. When he's saying he's going to do something and when he's actually going to do it, and when he says he's going to do it but he's not actually going to and he's just pandering. It is a little bit more nuanced, I think, with Trump, because he's always in character when he's presenting himself to the public. The rest of these politicians don't know how to do that. Being a politician for whatever amount of time is not the same as being a movie star, as being a TV star. It's not the same. And that's what you end up making that painfully clear when you put people like Kamala Harris and Pam Bondi in positions where they have to be on camera a lot. That's nothing to Donald Trump. I bet he doesn't even get nervous. I bet he literally has no anxiety at all. When Kamala Harris has to deal with cameras, she goes into retard mode and starts giggling. They ask her a tough question. One time, somebody somewhere told Kamala Harris, when they hit you with a tough question, just crack a shitty joke and and cackle your way out of it, honey. And she went like that. Yeah, that's good. It's not even believable. It's insulting. And I feel like that's the same shit with Pam Bondi. When she's talking that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein, turns out all that blackmail we thought we had, it was just videos of him fucking little kids. That terrible, terrible Jeffrey Epstein. It's the same fucking thing. It's bad lying, fake delivery. It's so bad it's insulting. Both parties have it.
Our undercover journalists that even if anything was to be released,
I got a little worked up there. Sorry, guys. Everybody calm down. I got to hit this bong. Look, this is the problem. I've hit this once. I'm going to hit that again. We're going to chill. Everybody relax.
it would be heavily redacted in favor of the Republican Party, indicating that this DOJ official, Joseph Schnitt, probably leans Democrat.
Do you think like the stuff with Epstein will actually get released or not at all?
If it does, it'll be heavily redacted, and his name won't be in it.
But those files do exist.
There's files.
Yeah.
For sure. There's thousands and thousands of pages of files. But again, if they're released in any way, it's going to be very redacted. They'll redact every Republican or conservative person in those files. Leave all the liberal, Democratic.
Well, see, who said it in the chat? Jeff Cron. Jeff Cron said, how do we really know the Epstein thing is real? Because they said they convicted and jailed him. How did the whole story start anyways? Well, so, this is the thing. The conviction, unfortunately, guys, the convictions on Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell only involve victims that were victims of them personally, if I understand this correctly. No one, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell didn't get in trouble for trafficking women to other people. This is the thing. But we know, we're pretty sure in conspiracy circles that, the Prince Andrew thing is real. There's remember he said he couldn't sweat? And there's pictures of him sweating from back then and stuff. There's old pictures of him with sweat marks under his armpits or something. I forget. And there's all of these different stories and stuff. If I remember how this, I think you asked, how did it start? It's funny, but the first anyone ever heard about Epstein was Alex Jones, and remember the fucking, I told you guys, this is the thing. There's a reason why, there's a reason why people have been treating the Epstein thing the way that they are. I don't think somebody who is just personally a kid toucher, I don't think that they get so many favors. Maybe I just don't know how really filthy rich people, maybe they don't give a fuck who is a chomo and who isn't. I don't know about that life. I'm in the working class, okay? I don't know about having so much money that morality means nothing to me. But I don't know how you get so many people to cover for Epstein, how you get Acosta told that he is intelligence. There's just too many things that point to this being some kind of blackmail operation and too much weird shit going on with it. And then also there was always the rumors about Bill Clinton, which got removed recently, guys. I haven't checked in the last week, but I heard 2 weeks ago that the Epstein, the fact that Bill Clinton flew on Epstein's plane 20 some times was removed from Wikipedia. So it's weird. I saw somebody do the Wayback Machine and found that it was on there, and it no longer is listed on Bill Clinton's Wikipedia page. So yeah, man, when it comes to some of this, it's it's like they release just enough information for people to be able to form opinions about it in a valid way, but not enough to concretely be able to prove on paper who is involved and who exactly did what. We just have a bunch of like really, really shady shit going on. Bankers, high profile people within our government, all these people helping Jeffrey Epstein go unscathed until he, alas, got locked up. And then, at some point, they probably, if Epstein actually is dead, at some point, some of these people involved in the blackmail scheme may have actually gotten together, because all of the people in this that are blackmailed, they probably work together to say, all right, if we lock Epstein up and Ghislaine Maxwell, get them busted for the crimes we know they committed, we can keep our shit undercover and get Epstein killed off in prison. We don't have to even fucking worry about it anymore. And guys, remember, who was the president when Epstein died in prison? Donald Trump. Interesting. And now Donald Trump is at the forefront of calling this a hoax and making sure it doesn't see the light of day.
People in those files and have a very slanted version of it come out, where it's like, look at what he's doing without really seeing any of their bad behavior.
This is James O'Keefe. You know me for exposing the truth and
we sure do
holding the powerful accountable.
Yep.
Today, I want to talk to you about protecting your own freedom.
No
thanks.
thanks.
Money just doesn't go with the American Independent $1,000 credit.
I'm okay being poor.
Towards their account. That's right. Physical. That's OKEEFEN. That's O'KeefeMediaGold.com.
Guys, go check out O'KeefeMediaGold.com. It's probably really good gold. Go check it out. He deserves it. Wait, what's the chat saying? I saw DMS. DMS, who claimed his body when he was Clinton? What do you mean, who claimed his body? Bill is on his way out. You think natural causes? Or are you saying someone's going to take him out? Jeff Cron, no, so I see what you're saying. You're saying maybe this whole story, maybe there's a chance that it was like blown out of proportion in some way, like a long con where the media was like, I kind of get, I get sort of where you're thinking, but I think there's been too many valid, like, we know only because of Hot Mike. Remember, that was the chick from, was it MSNBC or ABC? One of those news stations where they heard this, what is her name? Katie Couric, or who? I can't remember right now, but it was this blonde chick, if I'm not mistaken, this chick with blonde hair, discussing how they were going to do a whole report. This Epstein stuff, this is the thing. This has not been in the media, like full coverage the way that it should be, right? The people at ABC were on Hot Mic admitting that they had everything on Epstein, Virginia Giuffre, the stuff on Prince Andrew, and they wanted access to the royal family because of whatever bullshit other stuff was going on. They wanted to be able to interview different people from the royal family. I guess it was the one guy who married the half black chick or something. They were talking about they wanted access to the royal family. So they shut down the story because it implicated Prince Andrew. So I think it's like, I would be willing to consider maybe that there is a possibility that the depth of this story is faked, and it's really just a rich guy who was going around fucking underage girls. Okay, But I don't know, man. There's just there's too much. It seems like the media was kept quiet on a lot of this shit. It really does. The only people that have been talking about it for over like 5 years, 10 years, has been Alex Jones and Joe Rogan and people like that. You know. Oh, yeah, let me.
Or 833-324-GOLD. Take action, get the facts, and protect your future. Because freedom isn't given, it's secured. This is James O'Keefe. Don't just watch history, own a piece of it.
All right, come on, let's go. Are we done?
Maxwell and her highly... The conversation then turned towards Ghislaine Maxwell and her highly publicized and unprecedented prison transfer.
They visited that Maxwell person.
Yeah.
And also involved.
Got transferred to a minimum security prison too recently, which is against BOP policy because she's a convicted sex offender, and they're not supposed to get minimum security prisons, which is an interesting detail because she's getting a benefit, which means they're offering her something to keep him on ship.
The difference between a low security prison and a minimum security prison is that minimum security prisons are designed for non-violent offenders with short sentences. They often have no perimeter fencing, and inmates are housed in dormitory-style rooms. We looked into the Bureau of Prisons policies, and Schnitt's claim is in fact correct. Convicted sex offenders are historically ineligible for minimum security facilities. Schnitt is also very credible by virtue of where he works inside the Department of Justice.
So, guys, let's talk about this for a second with the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff. So there are two different sort of theories with this. We'll go with, we can call this the DOJ theory, according to this guy. He's saying they put her in this minimum security housing because it's a benefit probably for her to keep her mouth shut. This guy might be right. That might actually literally be what it is, and that's all it is. But then there's also the Tim Dillon theory, which is sort of what I'm concerned about, is they're probably moving her there because they're going to blow her fucking head off or choke her out and pretend she hung herself. You know, one of those.
This raises significant questions about why Ghislaine Maxwell was provided such special treatment at a time where the DOJ and the FBI are under heavy scrutiny for their handling of the Epstein files. The DOJ and FBI have continually promised transparency to the country. Why was the case's most significant witness transferred to a more comfortable prison life, all while Epstein's victims were still not receiving the justice they deserve? Why does it take a random girl in Washington, D.C., for someone like Joseph Schnitt to open up? Why are top DOJ officials spilling all these secrets in restaurants while the American people are not necessarily afforded the same transparency that they're promised? It doesn't make any sense.
White Ice T said, where did it go? Oh, Kevin Gable said, all right, bro, I got to go to bed. Let me know when I get my invite. Bro, my +1 is Adam Wiley. White Ice T said the real list was in the World Trade Center. Dude, it's funny you say that because we went over this. What's the fucking guy's name? That guy... Is Scott Starbird in here? Who the fuck knows? That guy's name that Trump has been hanging out with. When there's been like 2 or 3 times that the press has asked Donald Trump about the Epstein list, and Trump is like standing there with some advisor or somebody. Is it Ludwig? Ludwig, that's his name. Hold on a second. Nobody put it in the chat yet. I just thought of that. Hold on, Ludwig. White Ice T, I don't know if you were in here, but this guy, hold on. Where should I go? Here. Is that not his name? I don't think other people have this guy on their radar, so he's not even coming up on YouTube. Let me see. That's there. This guy. So, why'd I see you still in here? Why'd I see said Scott Ludwig? I don't think. Oh, wait, I just pulled it up. Hold on. What is it? Howard Lutnick, not Ludwig. Lutnick. I was close. Yeah, my fault. Scott Ludwig. That must be somebody else. Why'd I see? I don't think you were in here when we found this. So, in all the videos, if you look, we'll come back to the James O'Keefe thing, and eventually we'll get to the RFK stuff. I promise, guys. This guy is in like there's 2 or 3 different instances when Trump has been not recent, but within like the past month when Donald Trump has been asked about the Epstein list, and this guy is with Donald Trump. He's standing next to him or in the background, and he starts laughing with this fucking sinister smile on his face. And, you know, he's laughing to try to laugh off the subject, like, but it's so sinister because there's nothing funny. There's literally nothing funny. Every time someone asks about the list, there's nothing funny. We're talking about people that had their lives ruined. We're talking about victimized minors. And this guy's giggling when they ask Trump. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Lutnick Epstein. Bro, this guy. Hold on. Let me bring you to YouTube. So I found it now. This fucking guy. Lutnick.
How do you shape your strategy with confidence? We advised a consumer product. Mr. President.
Look, this guy, there's like, it seems like every time they ask Trump about Epstein, this guy Lutnick is there to like hover over Donald Trump and make sure he says the right thing. And he giggles about it every time they ask. It's so fucking sinister.
I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled? Why do you think that is?
So the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake, all that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information.
There's our guy. Hit him with the fake news. It's so funny. That guy rides Trump's nuts so hard. So no, it's funny. You said the Epstein list disappeared. It got destroyed in the Twin Towers on 9/11 because this guy, Lutnick, next to Trump right here, this man, let's go back to his wiki page because we went over this already. This guy had a business that was run out of the fucking World Trade Center, out of the Twin Towers. Can you imagine? Can you imagine someone there who basically it seems to be hovering over Donald Trump, advising him on stuff, laughing every time someone asks about the Epstein list? This guy had a business in the Twin Towers and didn't show up to work that day. What? Did he get out in time? No, he didn't show up, just like Larry Silverstein. Funny how that happens. How, it's so funny. God works in mysterious ways. They're the chosen ones, guys. That's what it is. So, God stepped in and said, you know what? All those innocent people working their asses off and slaving away in the Twin Towers, just trying to be able to afford to live in New York City, Those people's lives aren't worth saving, but you know whose is? This fucking scumbag. But yeah, here, Cantor Fitzgerald, declining health, and there's a whole thing. He had this place in the Twin Towers. The fucking, his employees all died. All his fucking employees died in the Twin Towers, and then he withheld their last checks. This is who Donald Trump is palling around with. This is the kind of people we got giggling about Epstein. World Trade Center, Cantor Fitzgerald corporate headquarters until its destruction. Guys, we are in some dark times. That is why that's the name of this program. I mean, it earns its title every night. But you know what helps when we got dark times? It helps to shed light on it all. Where does it go? 9/11. September 11th, Al-Qaeda terrorists hijacked. Really, they were Israeli, whatever. But anyway, crashing a plane into One World Trade Center, which contained Cantor Fitzgerald's corporation, which was owned by this Lutnick guy. Minutes later, a second plane hit in the other one. Plane clashes marked the beginning of September 11th. 960 employees worked for Cantor Fitzgerald in New York City. All 658 employees who were in the office on that day of the attack died. Dude, this guy lost like 80% of his employees in one day and tried to withhold their checks. Dude, guys, what are we doing? Oh my God. Listen to this too. Lutnick was scheduled to go into the office that day. So was Larry Silverstein, guys. For some reason, none of the fucking bigwigs showed up. None of the bigwigs or tiny hats showed up. So weird. So weird. How did all these people get so lucky that just didn't show up to work, but they were scheduled to? Lutnick was scheduled to go into the office that day, but he had taken his son to kindergarten. His brother Gary did not survive. Gary didn't get the email. Cantor Fitzgerald's operations in London and New Jersey, allowed eSpeed to continue trading. Lutnick's interviews, he became nationally recognized. Internally, however, he garnered criticism from families of employees at Cantor Fitzgerald for the company's refusal to continue paying any part of the salaries owed to employees who were ultimately killed in the attack. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's a dirty game. It is one dirty-ass game.
What we're looking for is people on the inside of the government to step forward for your private actions to match your public actions, to stand by the truth. And if you know more about this, please email us at tips@o'keefemediagroup.com or text us at 914-491-9395. And
Bro, the White Iced Tea, that's 1/5 of the people that died that day. Bro, man, that's what I'm saying, dude. This is like, this is dark stuff. This is dark stuff. Jeff Cron, that's awesome. I went to New York after they were gone already. I went and saw the rubble. I'll probably have cancer. It was like, it was a few years later. It was like 2008 or something when I went. It's probably still cancer dust out there, though. Let's be real. The regular dust in New York City, I think, is cancerous. The trash that's on the streets and stuff, I feel like it's already cancerous, and the nanothermite dust just makes it a little bit worse. But Yeah, I'm probably fucked.
You will tell your story without fear and without favor.
Okay, let's so yeah, guys, we see what's up. We see what's up. The guys from the DOJ claiming they're gonna hide Republican names. That's what we're dealing with. All right. Let's oh fuck, I closed that tab already. Let me get this back up. We'll look at some of the highlights from RFK Jr. because I definitely don't have time to go through that whole fucking thing. I wish I did, though, guys. I wish I did have time to watch the whole thing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. This is not good. Breaking news. Just in at the White House, Bill Gates says President Trump and he are discussing creating next level cures to eradicate several major diseases. Guys, I'm done with Big Pharma. I've been done, but I'm just reminding you guys I'm done. I'm done. I literally have to break something for me to go see a doctor. I'm staying away. I'm done. I'm not playing this game. I'm not taking part in this game. No, thank you. I'll sit this one out. I'll watch you guys play the game. I'll watch you guys go trust your doctor and eat fucking Oreos and Cheetos. I'll watch you guys have the fun. It's okay. I'll sit this one out. You guys go ahead and go eat McDonald's, and then when you feel weird, go to the doctor and do whatever the doctor tells you to do. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to try to take care of myself. I'm going to sit this out. Because now we got Bill Gates and Donald Trump teaming up for Operation Warp Speed, turbo cancer. Let's check this out.
Well, I'm in the second phase of my career, giving away all the wonderful money that Satya's good work has helped multiply a lot. But I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is innovation, innovating in health, in
eradication
areas like vaccines or gene editing. And the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done.
Yeah, Warp Speed worked out really well, guys. That was really good.
AI for our foundation is that we want a doctor for everyone in Africa through AI. We want farmers to have incredible advice and, kids to have a chance to learn. So the work being done by the people at this table is changing the world. It's, coming fast. So it's great. We all get together and talk about how the U.S. can lead in this key area and apply it even to the poorest outside the U.S. as well as to our great citizens. So thank you for incredible leadership, including getting this group together.
Good job, Donald Trump. We got Bill Gates on the case. He's going to solve the population problem with vaccines, like he said. That sounds fun. Oh, yeah, Richie, you were behind. Yeah, it was ABC News. Thank you. I couldn't remember. I could have just looked it up, but, I was trying to not get too long-winded tonight. So much for that. Well, I thought I was going to cover the Bubba Doc the DOJ. Richie, did you see the whole thing? Yeah, that's what you're commenting on. You saw part of the James O'Keefe hidden camera thing. So they're removing Republican names from the lists, the Epstein list, the list that doesn't exist. They're removing names from it, the Republican names. And then now RFK Jr. I thought I was going to cover all these topics and be out of here at a decent time. That's very funny. Grano Reaper, my dude. I know we had a good one tonight, bro. I was, I've been talking mad shit about Donald Trump. You'd have loved it. I love this stream, guys. Honestly, it is refreshing. It's fun for me. It really is nice to be able to get on here and not have to. I see people having to do it all the time where you got to play dumb. You got to just pretend whatever. You got to avoid certain topics, whatever, because everybody's playing fucking defense for something. Everybody's on here just absolutely full of shit. It is actually fun to get on here and just say what I want. It's so nice. It's so refreshing. I don't have to hold anything back. I can say what I want about Trump. I don't have some career or something that hinges on me having to be a goalie for some fucking politician. I can get on here and talk shit about everybody. It's so nice. We can all do it together. I love you guys getting in the chat, throwing stuff curveballs at me. I just gotta go with it and be real. And it's fun. It's nice. And I see it all the time. I see other shows that I think are shitty. And I'm just like, man, look at you playing defense so hard. People love to just play dumb and just avoid stuff. Like, it's nice. I don't have to do any of that. You would have loved it, Richie. No, but or Grando Reaper. White iced tea. It's like therapy. It really is. You guys are actually like my therapists. That is terrifying. I got a chat for therapists. You guys are my therapists. Promo code Lover's in here. What's up, Lover? Guys, could you hit the like button if you haven't already? Please help me out because it's a toss up. When I talk about James O'Keefe, that does not do me well in the algos. It gives me problems. So please help me out hitting the like button. DMS talking about that white iced tea earlier this morning. Yeah, that's what I put in the chat. White iced tea was saying he doesn't want to go with me to the Bubba movie thing because I'm gay. I put in the chat. I was like, I'll be getting that white iced D. It's good stuff. I'm funny. God. Yeah, that was a good call, white iced tea. That was funny. Richie, so with the Bubba premiere tomorrow, let's get up some of this. Here, let me drop this. I'll start working on this while I answer your question. But the movie tomorrow, hopefully, I'm going to try to be out of work early. Hopefully, I can get there. We'll see how it goes. I think people are going to meet at my house, if I'm not mistaken. Some people are going to meet at my house that are going to it. I think my house is really close. I got to look this up actually because I think it's not far from my house. Anyway, I think we might be meeting here and then heading over there and we'll see what goes down. I will try to live stream before and or after. So I should be live there whenever the red carpet starts, sometime around 6 or something. I should be live at the movie theater, and then if it's okay and whatever, I might live stream. Hold on, I got a fart. Huh. Oh, did you guys hear that? Did you hear that? Oh, that was 2 in a row. I'm counting that as 2. Hold on. I don't have a 2. Cigarette tracker. Fart counter. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, so I'll be live from the deal. Grando Reaper said, "Can you give me some spicy hot takes you did for the topic?" For what? What do you mean? I don't know what have I said this whole time, guys? I don't remember what I've said. Walking distance? Yeah, I think it is white iced tea. We'll see. We might if it's literally like 4 blocks away, we might just walk. My neighborhood's pretty rough though. I'll be real. We might not want to walk actually. We might get robbed. We might show up to the movie premiere without any shoes. That might be a possibility. What the fuck? Promo said I gave Blitz $50 for his birthday right before he got fired. Fuck. Well, that was consensual. At least he didn't steal it from you. Controversial statements, gay stuff. Oh yeah, we talked a lot of gay stuff because White Iced Tea, this guy right here, he called into the Bubba the Love Sponge show and mentioned me because we talked about him being my +1 to go to this movie premiere. It's the documentary about the Hogan sex tape involving Bubba's wife, all that stuff. The premiere is tomorrow night. And White Iced Tea was trying to go with somebody as a +1, and he called into Bubba's show and was saying he didn't want to go as my +1 because he didn't want it to look like I was going to be sucking him off, or we'd be sucking each other off, you know. Robbed, not in the evening. Is that what you think, White Iced Tea? Just play White Iced Tea just said just play the clip. It's a documentary, Grando Reaper. It's gonna be good, dude. It's #1 right now on Apple, right? It's #1 and it's just in pre-sale. It hasn't even been released. It's doing pretty good. Oh, Big E's up in here. What's up, fam lamb? Welcome, welcome. Good evening. Got a little bit more. I'm going to get into some of the, what's it called? RFK stuff. Grando, I'll play the Bubba clip again as we leave. So if you just stick around, I'll be on at least another, like, 15 to 30 minutes, maybe even longer. Who the fuck knows? I got to fart again. Hold on. Listen. Oh, did you guys hear that? Oh, I just did another one. That's 4. You know what? Oh, that was 5. Hold on. I only have a 5 yet. 3, 4. There we go. 5. All right. Oh, let me pull this up. So let's just look at a couple of the fucking clips. Unfortunately, we don't have time to go through this whole goddamn thing. So here we go. Let me get you guys back on Twitter here. This is this person tweeted, RFK Jr. just exposed the link between MMR vaccines, measles, mumps, rubella, I believe that what that is, and autism in the front of the Senate, and the CDC destroyed the data. The room went silent when he dropped this bombshell. In 2002, CDC did an internal study of Fulton County, Georgia children, looked at children who got the MMR vaccine on time and compared to those kids who got them later. Data from the study showed that the black boys who got the vaccine on time had 260% greater chance of getting an autism diagnosis than children who waited. Man. Chief scientist on that, Dr. William Thompson, the senior vaccine safety scientist at CDC, was ordered to come into a room with 4 other co-authors by his boss, Frank DeStefano, who's the head of the immunization safety branch, in order to destroy the data. Then they published it without the fact. Shady stuff, guys. Let's listen to RFK explain that whole thing.
You want to just talk about what you've witnessed in terms of the capture of the agencies that you're now in charge of, the corruption of science, which I believe you just said, that is almost your number one goal, right? Is try to bring integrity and credibility back to science, which has been corrupted by the people who pay for it, by federal health agencies being captured by pharmaceutical industries, by big pharma, by big food. Just, I want to give you, I'm sorry, just the last minute to, first of all, defend yourself, but talk about the corruption of science that you're having to deal with and trying to correct.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just tell you one example, and I could sit here and give you thousands. But in 2002, CDC did an internal study of Atlanta and Fulton County, Georgia children, and looked at children who got the MMR vaccine on time and compared those to kids who got them later. So in other words, kids who got them before 36 months and kids who got them afterward.
Dude, this is one thing too, and this is a lot. Dr. Dan from the Bubba Show, he used to talk about this too, and talking. Dr. Dan would always recommend, and this is he's a real plastic surgeon, but he's worked trauma. He saved many lives. Like, he had to work. I don't know his whole career, but he's a real doctor. He's not just a plastic surgeon, like he only knows how to do tit jobs. He's a real doctor. Saved a bunch of people during COVID using ivermectin. He would prescribe people. He actually got in trouble for prescribing ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine to people, and it actually worked. He's saved up to like 600 some people at this point. Anyway, and he worked in, I know for like his residency, I believe, he worked in Louisiana hospital, where he was getting people with multiple gunshot wounds and stuff all the time. He's a legitimate doctor. And anyway, yeah, treated people with ivermectin. But this is one thing he used to talk about a lot, was to and talking. When you're deciding to get your kids vaccinated, one thing you don't want to do, there's a few different things, but he talks about, if you decide you do want to get them the type of vaccines the CDC recommends, then you should have them spaced out and do them after your child is 2 and talking. And by spread out, I don't just mean get the measles, mumps, rubella, and then at least wait 1 month to go get the fucking, the DTaP. No, like those, when you get those vaccines, they're stacked, they call it. They're combined. Well, you want to get them separate, because when you stack them, apparently the levels, there's lots of when we can look stuff up some night. We're going to get into this. This is one of the things I wanted to do a deep dive into for a Bubba the Love Sponge podcast that I would, submit for their podcast channel, because I know you can get away with that a little bit more on Spotify. You won't get, Joe Rogan. There's all kinds of people on there saying all kinds of crazy shit, and they, from what I understand, don't really deal with much censorship problems when it comes to the podcast stuff. It's YouTube and some of these other places don't like when you talk about ethical stuff. So anyway, but yeah, this is one of the things he argues. But with the medical community, this is a point I wanted to get into, is with the medical community completely flat out denying that there could be any possibility ever that even some portion of kids some percentage are bound to be injured by getting these vaccines that are recommended to them. To outright just deny that as a possibility, which to me is just, if you are someone that thinks like that, I'm sorry, you just don't understand how drugs work. There are so many people. These are things that are required basically for kids to get to be able to go to public school. There should be such an incredible amount of scrutiny for this type of thing. We're not talking about some obscure medicine that's for people that have heart failure that's only going to get, only 2% of the population is going to be prescribed. We're talking about, with these kinds of this category of medical treatment, we're talking about stuff that's supposed to be given to like 90 some percent of the human population. We should way up our standards when we're talking about any of this. But just think, if RFK Jr. is correct about this part right here, that there was data that at least shows that if you at least just wait until your kid is like developed more and then you give them, then they don't have as many problems. Maybe it is. I mean, I know a lot of people, I've seen a lot of shit, guys, that, some people argue that it has to do with the blood-brain barrier. So like when you're so young, the blood-brain barrier is not, it's not like sealed properly. It's not robustly protected. Whereas when you're adult, it's like it's fully developed. Well, I forget what age it's supposed to be, but this is one of the things that they argue. Some of this aluminum and polysorbate 40 or whatever the fuck there's different shit. What's the formaldehyde, or there's like different shit that's in some of these visaxizines, and it's stuff that's meant to preserve it. And we remember they used to use, for some reason they stopped. I wonder why they stopped using it, but they used to use thimerosal, which is a form of mercury. Now they use aluminum and fucking polysorbate 80 or whatever it is. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, polysorbate 80 is actually one of the things that like breaks down the blood-brain barrier even more. And it allows for shit to get through. So when you have a weak blood-brain barrier, you're a little baby, and you're giving somebody something that has polysorbate 80 and aluminum in it, and you're doing multiple doses at one time, it's, are we going to pretend that it's crazy to think that maybe we should be careful with that? We're not talking about treatment that's for 1% of the population. Even that, you should be careful. We're talking about stuff that the CDC wants 90% of, something like that, of people to get. Is it not crazy to say, hey, wait, maybe if like there's a possibility that a portion of kids get injured by these, maybe we tell people to wait, and maybe the first 2-3 years of your kid's life, you don't let them do heroin, so you can go without getting the hepatitis C vaccine. Maybe
the data from that study showed that Black boys who got the vaccine,
hepatitis B, I think,
on time had a 260% greater chance of getting an autism diagnosis than children who waited. The chief scientist on that, Dr. William Thompson, the senior vaccine safety science at CDC, was ordered to come into a room with 4 other co-authors by his boss, Frank DiStefano, who's the head of the immunization safety branch, and ordered to destroy that data. And then they published it without that fact. So that story.
Jeff Cron, that's a good point. Thalidomide, the thalidomide babies. That was something that they were like recommending to, right? Hold on, let's look that up. I can't remember which. Thalidomide, I think, was something that they used to treat pregnant women with or something, and it turned out it was making kids be born with limbs missing. Thalidomide. Thalidomide causes birth defects when taken early in pregnancy, leading to physical deformalities like short or missing limbs, missing ear parts, deafness, as well as internal organ defects. Widespread in the 1950s and 60s, leading to the drug's withdrawal. Initially used for morning sickness, today thalidomide remains a useful, albeit powerful, cancer treatment under strict medical supervision. Dear God, they're still giving it to people. Thalidomide scandal. Let's bring you guys. Let's just take a quick look at this. We won't spend too much time, but let's, just a refresh here. Look at that. Thanks, Big Gov. Thanks, Big Brother. Drug caused birth defect scandal for the drug itself. See thalidomide. Okay. 1950s early, thalidomide was prescribed to women in 46 countries who were pregnant or who subsequently became pregnant and consequently resulted in the biggest anthropomorphic medical disaster ever. So yes, they were recommending this. Jeff Cron, that's a good analogy, bro. I appreciate it because this is the kind of thing you have to keep in mind, guys, because you can always just say, "Oh, well, I'll defer to the experts." And that'll get you so far, but only so far. And then eventually you end up being born with no limbs. So, sometimes you just got to go, hey, maybe I'll think for myself here. Maybe if you're telling me the human race has survived for however many, they say, anatomically modern humans have existed for at least like 100, the bare minimum, they say 100,000, few 100,000 years, at least maybe a million, or a couple million at most, somewhere around there. We've been alive on this earth this long. We've made it this long, guys, doing natural births and stuff, and just eating regular food. And, and then someone comes along and says, oh, well, you're doing that wrong. You need to take thalidomide. And then your baby comes out with its legs missing. So, I just feel like when someone, a doctor or some expert is telling you to have a symbiosis with some fucking strange chemical, you got to say, give me a good reason. How about you give me a good reason, and then we'll talk about it. Biggest disaster ever. More than 10,000 children born with a range of severe deformities such as phocomelia, as well as thousands of miscarriages. So yeah, thalidomide introduced in 1957 as a tranquilizer was later marked by the German pharmaceutical company Chemie Grunenthal under the name Contergan as a medication for anxiety, trouble sleeping, tension, morning sickness. Jesus Christ, man. Look what they're doing to us. Fuck me. All right, we get it. Let's go back to this video. Let's let RFK cook.
Let him cook. I know that story, and you know of hundreds of stories like that. It happens all the time. We are being lied to by these agencies, and we're going to change that right now.
Dang. Man, if that's as true as as he's presenting, that's wild. Grando Reaper said, if I want my kid to get a cocktail of vaccines when she is first born, I should have the final say, not some lawyer ghoul as a Department of Health secretary. Grando Reaper, why wouldn't RFK answer these questions under oath? Answer that. What do you mean? You're saying when he was being, cross-examined or whatever after he was selected for health secretary? Oh, you're saying this? You're saying this time around, the chair of the committee refused to put him under oath for this hearing. Yeah. Okay. No, I don't know. I didn't see that. Man, that's why I wanted to watch the whole thing. Guys, if I didn't have to be at work early, we'd watch this whole fucking thing in 10x speed right now. God damn it. No, dude, that's what I'm saying. That's why I am at least trying to couch what I'm saying, and if this is true. I have not heard about this Fulton County thing. Don't let anyone get the wrong impression here. I'm not some expert on Viz-Axis conspiracies. You should make time to. I am going to watch it. I'm going to watch it, the full thing. I just don't have time to do it on stream. Should we start it, guys? We could go. Fuck. If we really want to. Oh, man. We could go till 11. It's 10, almost 10:30. God damn it. Let's do it, guys. It's like 4 hours. Yeah, but I'll watch the rest of it later. Hold on. Let's just see what we got here. What do we got? Where's the full thing? Shit, I think that's on this other tab. I don't think I could find the full thing on Twitter. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Oh, yeah, it's like 3 hours.
Do things your way. Work together to achieve this shit. This hearing will come to order. Today, we meet to hear from U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. about President Trump's 2026 healthcare agenda. Mr. Secretary, thank you for being here. While I expect a spirited debate today, I would remind my colleagues that each senator is limited to 5 minutes, and we're going to try to keep that as tight as we can today. There's 27 of us, and we all probably are going to want to have our opportunity.
Dutch Duke said he sounds better at 2X. Yeah. 2X RFK Jr. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it.
At the end of the 5 minute time frame, I will gently tap the gavel if it appears that things are starting to lapse.
Your ears adjust to it quickly. Do we want to try this? If people don't like it, let me know. I can put it back to 1.5.
Over. And encourage my colleagues and our witness to conclude their remarks at the conclusion of this time. President Trump and Secretary Kennedy have made a steadfast commitment to make America healthy again. Under this administration, HHS has placed patients at the center of the healthcare system, empowering them with the tools and information they need to create a healthier future. We know that chronic diseases such as heart disease and cancer and diabetes are some of the leading causes of death in America. Now the department has a renewed focus on tackling the root causes of chronic disease and promoting prevention first. I look forward to exploring ways that the federal government can further align payment incentives to support healthy living and fight chronic disease.
Grando, you said skip opening statements. This is part of that? Or has that happened already?
The administration has also prioritized efforts to end waste, fraud, and abuse in our federal healthcare programs, including through eligibility and enrollment verification. This critical work is not just about saving taxpayer dollars. It's about restoring trust and ensuring vital programs like Medicare and Medicaid are sustainable for generations to come. In July, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, announced that—
Grando, you said, yeah, this is... I asked you two things. You said, oh, sorry, just feed everyone chicken and broccoli. I thought that was Grando for a second.
that the agency identified 2.8 million Americans who were simultaneously enrolled in multiple Medicaid or Affordable Care Act exchange plans. Stopping this duplicate enrollment while working with states to ensure that individuals do not inappropriately lose coverage has the potential to save taxpayers $14 billion annually. CMS has also taken steps to provide states with additional immigration information to verify eligibility for federal health care.
So, Grando, you're saying we can skip through this part. Okay. I just didn't want to skip the part about the under oath. Skip to after RFK does his opening. Okay. Where's that? That's like... You're saying skip all this?
Ought to be regulating farming, and that the Department of Health and Human Services should not seek to regulate farms, the tools they use, or the markets that they sell into.
Yes, Senator, we we are working very, very closely with Brooke Rollins and with the agricultural community. We've met with over 140 farm interests over the past 3 months to incorporate them to make sure that the MAHA agenda is consistent with their agenda. We are producing the best food in America, that we're protecting our soils and our soil microbiome, and that we're protecting all kinds of farmers, including those who want to transition to regenerative agriculture.
You said too far? Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Okay. This is RFK's opening. Let's see.
Lie to the Senate Finance Committee about hugely important questions like vaccines. I think it's a great mistake. And that's why I made the request. I understand that you're not going to grant it. And
Oh, here we go, dude. This is exactly what you were talking about. We skipped to the right part right now. Hold on. They're talking about he doesn't want him to lie. This must be the under oath issue. Hold up. Let's make sure we get this.
every single day in America. My Republican colleagues, I must ask, what line must Robert Kennedy cross before some of you will also join this alarm? This weekend, under the cover of darkness, Robert Kennedy attempted to disappear hundreds of children under his care at Office of Refugee Resettlement Facilities. These children here without parents or family were rounded up in the middle of the night and put on planes to Guatemala. Lawyers on the ground described unthinkable scenes. Our staff, some who are here today, were party to this in the middle of the night, and one child said to their lawyer, "Why do they want to send me back? My mom is dead, and my dad abuses me. Why do they want to hurt me?" This was an actual conversation. These actions were illegal. Documents show that many of these children were in the country to escape trafficking in their homeland. Mr. Kennedy calls himself a protector of children. Some kind of rich claiming from somebody who's flown on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet on multiple occasions.
Oh, fuck.
I think Robert Kennedy should be within 1 million miles of this job. Republicans on the committee had a chance to prevent the public health train wreck. Mr. Kennedy has engineered. Everyone voted for him. It is in the country's best interest that Robert Kennedy step down, and if he doesn't, Donald Trump should fire him before more people are hurt by his reckless disregard for science and the truth. I also would like to note Senator Cantwell has joined us in this effort. I hope, at the very least, Robert Kennedy has the decency to tell the truth this morning. Mr. Chairman, I have a procedural request I'd like to make at this time. It's a short one. Proceed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, it's unfortunate that I have to say this, but this is a witness who has lied to members of the Senate Finance Committee. In response to over 35 written questions, including from me, he said, and I quote, that he would do nothing as HHS secretary that makes it difficult or discourages people from taking vaccines. That was clearly not true. His unprecedented unilateral actions to restrict access to COVID vaccines, that alone proves it. He tried to fire the Senate-approved CDC director after she chose the truth over what I consider his delusions. His prepared testimony even today includes the debunked lie that 500,000 children disappeared under the Biden administration's watch, a lie that the Trump administration is using as a pretext to hunt immigrant children and their families. So, my request, Mr. Chairman, and I think it's unfortunate that I have to do this, but given the unprecedented nature of the witness's behavior, I would ask now that the committee formally swear in Robert Kennedy as a witness. Senator White, I will personally object and will reject your request. We will treat this witness as we treat all of the other administration witnesses who come before us. And let me just say again, as I said in my opening remarks, we will have some partisan disagreements today. We're having partisan disagreements right now, and I am having partisan disagreements with you on your character.
Man, Grando, is this really like I see what you're getting at. That doesn't sound good. That's not great that they're refusing to do that, because of course I want him to be held to, have his feet held to the fire to tell the truth here. But I mean, if it's the standard that none of these people, that he's just testifying, right? This isn't, what is this? Testifies before Congress, grilled on CDC firing. Like, why was he testifying? Oh, yeah, so the CDC people, yeah, some people walked out of the CDC. Did you guys see? Hold on, let me show you. Did you guys see when the people left the CDC? We'll get right back to the thing. This is why I can't do a fast stream. I'm all over the fucking place. Right here, look. This is one of the guys that left. Here's a picture of the man resigning from the CDC. He's wearing a BDSM attire with a pentagram, a satanic symbol, on his chest. This guy resigned because of RFK Jr. And I reposted. I said, this guy has spells and potions. We need him. Oh, fuck.
Of the facts. The bottom line is we will let the secretary make his own case in his opening statement. I'll only say, Mr. Chairman, that this committee's unwillingness to swear this witness is basically a
He'll be missed, Dutch Duke. He will.
message that it is acceptable
to lie to the Senate Finance Committee about hugely important questions like vaccines. I think it's a great mistake. And that's why I made the request. I understand that you're not going to grant it, and we can move on.
We'll get to the bottom of your accusations, but at this point, I'm going to turn to our witness, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Secretary, you may make your opening statement at this time.
Thank you, Chairman Crapo, and thank you, Ranking Member Wyden, for the invitation to appear before the committee today. Before I summarize what we've accomplished this year at HHS, I want to express my deepest condolence to the family of DeKalb County Police Officer David Rose, who gave his life to stop the gunfire attack on the CDC on August 8th. Officer Rose was a veteran. He was a husband and the father of 2 children. Officer Rose's widow, whom I visited, is expecting their 3rd child. I'd like Officer Rose's family to know that he remains in our prayers and that he will continue to be in our thoughts. Let me start with the big picture. Under President Trump's leadership, we at HHS are enacting a once-in-a-generation shift from a sick care system to a true healthcare system that tackles.
Grando Reaper, I try to be a very honest person. If I were RFK Jr., I would have requested right there. I would have said, just put me under oath, whatever. I have nothing to hide. But I don't know if, it's not a great look. But again, if this is the standard for everybody that testifies in this context, like they're just asking him whatever about his performance so far, and they're not. I mean, there's a couple of them that are saying they want him fired, but he's not. Like, I don't know exactly what the context of this testifying is, but if they're saying the standard is that they don't put them under oath, then I don't know. I mean, I guess it's fair, but it doesn't look good.
The root causes of chronic disease. Chronic diseases reach crisis proportions in our country. And finally, we have an administration that is taking action. The Maha Report assessment, which the White House released in May, was the first government analysis of the key drivers of childhood chronic disease: ultra-processed foods, chemical exposures, physical inactivity, and over-medicalization. This month, we will follow with the Maha Report strategy, the Trump administration's solution for addressing each cause. At HHS, we haven't just been writing reports. We have been the busiest, most proactive administration in HHS history. In just half a year, we've taken on food dyes, baby formula contamination, the grass loophole, fluoride in our drinking water, gas station heroin, electronic cigarettes, drug prices, prior authorization, information blocking.
Hi.
Uh-oh, we got a heckler.
Cole Hockley from Sandy Hook Promise.
We got to add, too.
The shooter who murdered my son at Sandy Hook Elementary School.
The committee will come to order.
Pre-authorization of what? Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. 1550. Let's slow this down.
Administration in HHS history. In just half a year, we've taken on food dyes, baby formula contamination, the grass loophole, fluoride in our drinking water, gas station heroin, electronic cigarettes, drug prices, prior authorization, information blocking.
The committee will come to order.
What the fuck? I think that was a woman in a wheelchair. I think she said it takes 3 months for authorization of something. I think they're complaining about Medicare or something. Is that part of the deal? I think that was some of the controversy with Maha was they canceled some kind of Medicare shit or something, right?
I apologize to you for that outburst, Secretary Kennedy. I would notify everyone else in the audience. Comments from the audience are inappropriate. If there are any further disruptions, the committee will recess until the police can restore order. Mr. Secretary, please proceed.
As I was saying, prior authorization, information blocking, and healthcare interoperability. We are ending gain-of-function research, child mutilation, and reducing animal testing. We are addressing cell phone use in schools, excessive screen time for youth, the lack of nutrition education in our medical schools, sickle cell anemia, hepatitis C, the East Palestine chemical spill, and many, many others. At FDA, we are now on track to approve more drugs this year than at any time in history. I'm also proud to say that HHS under President Trump is doing more with less. We have taken measures.
You got to remember, don't forget Free Palestine, where some people, when they say that, they're talking about Palestine, where we had the train leak the chemicals. You guys remember that? The train accident that happened in Palestine in the United States. Never forget.
fight waste, fraud, and abuse. Just by eliminating duplicative enrollments at CMS, we are saving taxpayers $14 billion a year. Meanwhile, we are expanding access for people who need it. We are ending racist diversity, equity, and inclusion practices and instead focusing on aiding low-income and vulnerable families, regardless of their race, which was the original intent of Title X. We're also pouring $1 billion into Head Start and the Administration for Children and Families. Compassion need not be the casualty of efficiency. I'd like to highlight some issues that have not gotten media attention. First, we are doing our part to fulfill the President's commitment to stop human trafficking, especially of children. We inherited a terrible humanitarian crisis from the previous administration with its open border policies, which allowed the appalling loss of 476,000 unaccompanied children. We've implemented policies now to ensure that appalling tragedy can never happen again. We have knocked on 82,000 doors and located 22,000 of those children. I promise you that we will do more in the next 3 years. We are also addressing the disastrous health conditions in tribal communities on Native American reservations. I've met face-to-face with tribal leaders in dozens of communities and tribes in Alaska, Arizona, Idaho, New Mexico, and elsewhere. And I look forward to making HHS resources more available to those communities. One of the most significant initiatives under President Trump is the Rural Health Transformation Fund, part of the President's Big Beautiful Bill, which will provide the greatest investment of federal money into rural health care in history. Finally, I would like to address the recent shakeups at CDC. These changes were absolutely necessary adjustments to restore the agency to its role as the world's gold standard public health agency with the central mission of protecting Americans from infectious disease. CDC failed that responsibility miserably during COVID, when its disastrous and nonsensical policies destroyed small businesses, violated civil liberties, closed our schools, caused generational damage in doing so, massed infants with no science, and heightened economic inequality. And yet all those oppressive and unscientific interventions failed to do anything about the disease itself. America is home to 4.2% of the world's population, yet we had nearly 20% of COVID deaths. We literally did worse than any country in the world. And the people at CDC who oversaw that process, who put masks on our children, who closed our
Yikes.
schools, are the people who will be leaving. And that's why we need bold, competent, and creative new leadership at CDC. People able and willing to chart a new course. As my father once said, progress is a nice word, but change is its motivator, and change has its enemies. That's why we need new blood at CDC. That's also why it's imperative that we remove officials with conflicts of interest and catastrophically bad judgment and political agendas. We need unbiased, politics-free, transparent, evidence-based science in the public interest. Those are the guiding principles behind the changes at CDC, and that is what you can expect all across our agency for the next 3 years.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. I'll begin with the questioning. And one of the first things I'd like to talk to you about is actually something that is under the auspices of CMS. And I spoke with Dr. Oz last night about this. I'm sure you're very familiar with it, though. And that is that in the One Big Beautiful Bill, there's a lot of attacks right now going on publicly about hospitals are in trouble. And the blame for that is placed on the bill, even though the bill hasn't even been implemented yet. The fact is this committee held hearings on the troubles that rural hospitals are facing in the United States before the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill. They've been facing difficulties in rural America for a number of years now. And the bill, the One Big Beautiful Bill, contained a rural health transformation program, which I would just like to ask you to comment on. This is a program which allocated $50 billion over the next 5 years to our rural community hospitals in the United States to help them deal with some of the financial crises that they are facing and transition to more stability. Could you comment on that program that is in the One Big Beautiful Bill?
Yeah, Senator, one of President Trump's campaign promises and one of the principal preoccupations, not only of Republican senators when I did my confirmation hearing, but also almost equally among Democratic senators, was the crisis in rural health. We have 120 rural hospitals closed over the past 10 years. These institutions are not just delivering health access to rural Americans, but they are economic centers, they are cultural centers for those communities. They are often the largest employer. They are the highest paying jobs, and they are the centerpiece for those communities. So when they die, the communities collapse. And President Trump promised to do something about that, and he has delivered on that promise. Right now, we spend about 6% of Medicaid funding is sent to rural hospitals, a very, very tiny slice, and that's one of the reasons they're in trouble. President Trump has now allocated through the One Big Beautiful Bill $50 billion, so $10 billion a year over the next 5 years. What we give for rural hospitals, that 6% represents $19 billion a year. So we're increasing that by $10 billion. So we're infusing more than 50% increase in the amount of money that is going to rural communities over the next 5 years. There's never been anything like that in history. It is the biggest investment, and it should stem this hemorrhage.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your giving clarity to that because it is frustrating to see these continuous allegations that the difficulties that our rural hospitals are facing all were created in the last few months when we passed a bill, when we've been holding hearings in this committee about these problems. And in the bill that we passed, we gave a $50 billion boost to, as you indicated, increase by 50% the federal support for our community rural hospitals in the United States. And I think that the hospital owners understand that. They recognize the support. In fact, they're coming together very carefully with Dr. Oz to work on the rollout of this.
Is that RFK Jr. breathing into the fucking microphone? That's obnoxious. Why did I see Grando? Is that what he say? Hold on. Why is every single person on his new vaccine board a past paid witness to his lawsuits he makes a living from? Is that true? I don't know. I'll have to Google that.
Program so that we can see this boost and the support that is coming. Just another one of the disagreements we have about what really was in the One Big Beautiful Bill. So I appreciate you commenting on that. In the last minute and 10 seconds that I have with you, could you just quickly talk once again about the broad issue of making America healthy again in terms of our aim to change the healthcare system's focus from a reactive symptom management model to one that focuses on lifestyle choices and the root causes of chronic disease?
Yeah, Senator, this morning I got the latest numbers from CDC that 76.4% of Americans now have a chronic disease. This is stunning.
Holyoke Joe, what are you talking about? Let's break now. What are you talking about?
president was 11%. 1950 was 3%. Today it's 76.4%. 8 out of 10 of our kids cannot qualify for military service. This is a national security issue. When my uncle was president, we spent 0 on chronic disease. Today we spend $1.3 trillion. It's the biggest cause. It's increasing. And all of the arguments that Republicans and Democrats have about single payer, Obamacare, or with various ways to allocate health dollars, they're all like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. If we don't end this chronic disease, we are the sickest country in the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC. They did not do their job. This was their job to keep us healthy. And I need to fire some of those people to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I have to cut myself off to make sure I keep to this time frame too. Senator White.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I've made it clear. I think that Secretary Kennedy is dead set on making it harder for children to get vaccines, and that kids are going to die because of it. And Mr. Chairman, I'd like to put in the record today an op-ed written by Susan Monarez, who was fired by Mr. Kennedy.
Without objection.
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms, not naming names.
So
please don't.
What we know, and Dr. Monarez, was approved by Republicans. She wrote an op-ed today in the Wall Street Journal, which I just put in the record, and I quote her. She said, "I was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel newly filled with people who have publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric." So this is not some liberal philosopher or something. This is the CDC director who tells the Wall Street Journal, which is not exactly interested in progressive, theories and the like, that she was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel filled with people who've publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric. So my first question, Mr. Secretary, is did you in fact do what Director Monarez said you did, which is tell her to just go along with vaccine recommendations, even if she didn't think such recommendations aligned with science?
Wait, hold on a second. So I was Googling this and it sounds like they're talking about it now. I was distracted. Hold on. We're at 28. Let's hear what this guy, let's start from, okay.
Fired by Mr. Kennedy. Without objection. So what we know, and Dr. Monarez, was approved by Republicans. She wrote an op-ed today in the Wall Street Journal, which I've just put in the record, and I quote her. She said, "I was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel newly filled with people who have publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric." So it's not some liberal philosopher or something. This is the CDC director who tells the Wall Street Journal, which is not exactly interested in progressive, theories and the like, that she was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel filled with people who publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric. So my first question, Mr. Secretary, is did you in fact do what Director Monarez said you did, which is tell her to just go along with vaccine recommendations, even if she didn't think such recommendations aligned with scientific evidence?
No, I did not.
That's a yes or no. So you have an opportunity to call her a liar if you say that you didn't do it. But I'd like to see you respond to this.
No, I did not say that to her. And I never had a private meeting with her. There's other witnesses at every meeting that we have, and all of those witnesses will say, I never said that.
So she's lying today to the American people in the Wall Street Journal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's talk now about.
So, okay, let's talk about this. Grando, this might, yes, it's possible that this is a bad thing, and I Googled it. I found, the AI overview is showing some of these witnesses and talking about their past things, and that they were the vaccine board, that they were witnesses for plaintiffs and vaccine lawsuits. Yeah, so I don't know, man. It doesn't maybe it doesn't concern me as much. I mean, what for real, I don't know what kind of boards and whatever. I'm assuming this isn't a completely new thing. They just put new people in it. This is a vaccine advisory board. But dude, I mean, what is your problem with it? This guy's saying his main issue. He's saying he doesn't like that this vaccine board is filled with people. It sounds like he's saying it's exclusively people who have expressed publicly their, displeasure with vaccines, that they don't like them. Streams conflict of interest. Yeah, but it's not conflict of interest. Is it it doesn't affect these people that were part of this lawsuit. Are these ongoing? I mean, I don't think if they were ongoing or something, and then they changed standards or recommendations, if they change recommendations at the CDC and then that affects an ongoing lawsuit, I would say that's definitely conflict of interest. But this just seems like the pendulum is just swinging the other way, right? I mean, all the people on the vaccine advisory board prior to this, anyone that's been working at the CDC or advising on any kind of vaccine stuff would have been a pro-vaccine person up until now, right? So it's been it's been exclusively pro-vax people in all these positions, and now it just sounds like it's the opposite. Yeah, I know that he has a lot of these lawsuits, but if there's some ongoing that the outcome of the lawsuit hinges upon something he's doing at the CDC now, then I completely agree with you, and that's scummy. But I mean, I don't know. I guess, well, I can look into it more, and we'll play more and see where this goes. But yeah, I don't know.
What's coming up? Because I made it clear what I thought about the 203 days with my colleague, Senator Also Brooks. In 2 weeks, CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices will meet to make decisions about critical vaccines that protect us against hepatitis B, measles, and more. The committee's got a profound impact on vaccine access, but these aren't ordinary meetings. You stack the deck to ensure the panel bends to your views. In June, you fired all 17 committee members who were respected scientists and doctors. You replaced them with non-experts, vaccine skeptics, and conspiracy theorists. As a result, this critical advisory panel has lost scientific credibility. After years, colleagues, we spent so much time not looking at this as Democrats and Republicans, but good science and scientific credibility. And now the American Academy of Pediatrics has warned that the committee is being politicized at the expense of children's health. American Academy of Pediatrics, you think they're lying too?
I think the American Academy of Pediatrics is gravely conflicted. They're the biggest contributors to the 4 largest vaccine makers. They run a journal, Pediatrics, which they make a lot of money on, that is completely dependent on pharmaceutical companies. So I wouldn't put a big stake in what they say that benefits pharmaceutical interests. Senator, I didn't politicize ASAP.
See, Grando, man, it's hard. Like RFK's saying here, there's a conflict of interest at every fucking turn and level of this whole deal. It sucks. Like you'll see like some of the fucking dietary recommendations and stuff for like diabetics and shit like that, recommends shit that's like not even healthy for you. Like I've seen some people have shown, maybe they've changed it, but I know there was some stuff I've seen there, like you'll see some of the shit that they say is like good for your diet. Like recently there was controversy. I guess this was like, I want to say it's been within the past like 2 years. They said cereal is better for you than like a steak or something. It was something ridiculous like that. And then you find out, oh, well, this, they're funded by the whatever the fuck. It's some food corporation. It's like I don't know, man. That's a fair point. No, he's the leader. He should be an example. But again, this is what I'm saying. And I feel like this guy who I forget this, I didn't even look at this senator's name, but whoever the fuck is grilling him right now does not like him. I think when I'm thinking conflict of interest, this doesn't. You could say you could maybe argue that this loosely is, but it's not. It's not actually like. I mean, again, I said. If there's a lawsuit or something that's affected by some kind of new regulations or standards or recommendations that they are putting at the CDC, then that is totally. But I mean, if you're just saying, well, he stacked the deck with people that have expressed that they don't like vaccines or don't trust them, and they're conspiracy theorists, it's like, well, the deck has been stacked in the opposite way in which I'm uncomfortable with. I'm uncomfortable with all these doctors who are getting fucking kickbacks from vaccine manufacturers to recommend them to their patients and stuff like that. I mean, that's that the deck's been stacked in that way for how long? And not that believe me, I don't trust RFK Jr. I don't trust anyone that's been on Epstein's plane. Let me make that clear. This guy is not some shining example I'm telling anyone to look up to.
I depoliticize it. The Congress is
But all over the country, Mr. Secretary, scientists and doctors are saying otherwise. They're all wrong too. They're all lying, according to you.
The scientists and doctors are supporting me all over the country. There is division on opinion.
I don't get letters from thousands of people who are not political saying that this set of changes is going to damage American healthcare, and particularly these healthcare agencies, for decades to come. I don't get any letters from people saying,
yeah, Grando Reaper, but where you said, bro, Jimmy Carter had sold his peanut farm to avoid appearance of conflict of interest. What are you saying RFK or his vaccine panel needs to sell? That's what I'm saying. If there's a pending lawsuit, that is going to be affected by what they're doing, then that's the conflict of interest that we're talking about. That's relevant to, like, to this being a problem. What's the peanut farm that they need to sell? It's just like what if Jimmy Carter sold his peanut farm, but then still said he loves peanuts more than anything in the world? Would you say it's still a conflict of interest? Because that's pretty much like the analogy of what we got here, unless there's an ongoing lawsuit that these people are involved in. Otherwise, there's no peanut farm. You know what I mean? It's just people that he stacked the deck with people that already have a maybe skewed opinion of these things, but what's the financial conflict of interest? That's what people are interested in.
Make a big difference forever.
And maybe you're listening to a selective group of people.
You get me.
Yeah, and I will tell you what, Senator. I will put my mailbag against your mailbag every day.
I got 30 seconds. Dangerous respiratory viruses like RSV are on the agenda for the next advisory meeting. Countless parents have been awakened in the dead of night by a wheezing kid gasping for air, forced to rush their little one to the ER. There's no worse heart-wrenching fear. The RSV vaccine offers these kids protection against the worst effects of the virus. But now it looks like you're on a crusade to make infants and babies more vulnerable to the terrible illness. That's what we're doing with the COVID changes.
And please make your answer brief, Mr. Secretary.
I've said
the position is indefensible. I think it's possible.
Congress has been investigating that committee for 23 years because it is pervaded with conflicts of interest. What we did is we got rid of the conflicts of interest. We depoliticized it and put great scientists on it from a very diverse group.
Let me close with this because, like Senator Craig, I'm a few seconds over. I don't think, Mr. Secretary, this is about you and me. This is about kids being pushed in harm's way by reckless and repeated decisions to get scientists and doctors out of the way and allow conspiracy theories to dictate this country's health policy. I don't see any evidence that you have any regrets about anything you've done or plans to change it. And my last comment is, I hope that you will tell the American people how many preventable child deaths are an acceptable sacrifice for enacting an agenda that I think is fundamentally cruel and defies common sense. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do I get a reply? Or, Senator, you've sat in that chair for how long? 20, 25 years, while the chronic disease in our children went up to 76%. And you said nothing. You never asked.
Oh!
Question, why is it happening? Why is this happening? Today, for the first time in 20 years, we learned that infant mortality has increased in our country. It's not because I came in here. It's because what happened during the Biden administration that we're going to end.
I'm going to let Senator Wyden respond briefly to that, and then we're not going to go over like we just did.
This committee on a bipartisan basis. Colleagues, my cabinet secretary says that we have no interest in chronic care. Mr. Secretary,
Mr. Chairman, could we have regular order, please?
In the process of turning around the Medicare program with the chronic care bill, Chairman Hatch, please, Chairman, and this committee on a bipartisan basis.
All right, we're going to proceed, and I just want the rest of the members to know I gave Senator Wyden as ranking member some leeway there, but we're going to stick to the 5 minutes. Senator Grassley.
First of all, thank you. I have asked HH secretaries in the past to fully utilize the Rural Community Hospital Demonstration Program under Medicare. The program has been underutilized. In May, the CMS filled the open slots. Thanks to your.
All right, guys, it's 11 now. I have a little bit of my protein shake left that I need to drink. I'm gonna go grab that. My computer's dying, but I want to at least get another like 5 or so minutes back still of this. So I'll be right back, okay? Yeah, I know. It's 10:55. Hold on. I'll be right back. Oh, fuck. The cords on my lap. Oh. Scheiße. I'm back. Hold on. Oh. All right, let's go.
Agencies work. There's been 10 more rural hospitals in the program. It's important that the federal government uses every tool possible to help rural hospitals, and thank you for making that possible. Now to my questions. Back in January, during your confirmation hearing, you told me that you agreed to leave farming regulations to the Department of Agriculture and EPA. Do you think that any comments you have made since your confirmation on topics dealing with agriculture are consistent with what you said in January, that USDA and EPA ought to be regulating farming, and that the Department of Health and Human Services should not seek to regulate farms, the tools they use, or the markets that they sell into?
Yes, Senator, we are working very, very closely with Brooke Rollins and with the agricultural community. We've met with over 140 farm interests over the past 3 months to incorporate them to make sure that the MAHA agenda is consistent with their agenda. We are producing the best food in America, that we're protecting our soils and our soil microbiome, and that we're protecting.
Can I say, and this might sound like I'm too judgy or something. Why'd I see, sir? Thank you for hanging with us. I'll see you guys in the Bubba chat tomorrow if you got to get out of here. I'm only going to be on like another 5 minutes. Fucking, what was I saying? This bitch, I might sound too judgy, and that's okay. I don't have a problem. Judge me for how I seem judgy. That's okay. But this chick here is distracting me. And the thing is, she looks like she sat here on purpose so that she would be in the frame when RFK Jr. is talking. And when he's talking, she looks like she's sitting there knowing she's on camera and trying to like look a certain way on camera. It's very distracting for me. And it's such a subtle thing. And I feel like an asshole for even saying anything. But everybody else, look at everybody else that's sitting here. Everybody else is just listening and sort of looking around. And this chick is sort of sitting there like every time RFK talks, she's like, okay, I'm listening to him. I'm looking at him. Look how engaged I look. I look so pretty today, too.
All kinds of farmers, including those who want to transition to regenerative agriculture. We're consulting every stakeholder in the farm community in everything that we do.
Just staring him down. No one else has to stare him down except this fucking bitch.
I just
over you, woman.
Raised the question because farmers in my state have been concerned about some of the things you're saying.
Senator, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Some of the farmers in my state have been raising questions about some of the things that they think you said, whether it was out of context or not. I just thought I'd raise this question so that you would keep by what you told us back in January at your confirmation hearing. Now, Senator Durbin and I have a bipartisan bill that requires price disclosures on TV ads. Price transparency is important in drug advertisement. I know that President Trump, Vice President Vance, and you are all supportive of this effort. When can I expect action from this administration on requiring drug companies to publish the price of drugs in their TV ads? And just in case you would tell me that you don't think you have that authority, can you help Senator Durbin and I on our bill so that we can ensure that you have legal authority to require price disclosure?
Senator, I think it would be good for us to talk about this offline. We are working on this in our agency, and I'm happy to give you the details of what we're doing.
Okay. I got a question here on transplant. Senator Kennedy and I have been working, or Senator Wyden and I have been working on this. For nearly 2 decades, I've engaged in the bipartisan oversight of the organ transplant system. RISA has developed a tool to combat transplant line skipping. I hope that you can take steps to make sure that these steps are being taken by HHS and RISA to curb transplant line skipping. On July the 2nd, Senator Wyden and I wrote you a letter highlighting cases of OPOs in Mississippi and Kentucky. In each of these cases, OPO allegedly tried to harvest organs from patients still showing signs of life. I expect you to take steps from through these organizations to make
What the fuck? They're stealing people's organs?
ensure that this doesn't happen again.
We have mounted a major investigation of misconduct, of illegal behavior, of organ harvesting, of living people, of line skipping, of favoritism, of all kinds of scandalous behavior inside the organ procurement organizations. We have already ended the contract, terminated the contract with the sole source provider. We are reorganizing the entire industry so that this can never happen again. I'm happy to go into the details.
Look at this fucking bitch. She just stopped looking at him, but look at her. So distracting. She's trying to give us like a Mona Lisa smile. Just such a subtle little smile. And with their hair parted and just stop it.
If I had more time.
Thank you, Senator Cornyn. Mr. Secretary, the United States spends approximately 18% of our GDP on healthcare. And yet by most accounts, we rank roughly 10th.
She's his handler. Well, you know what? Then I got an eye for it. I knew it. I could see she's paying way too much attention to what he's doing.
The world in terms of a healthcare outcome. Our Democratic colleagues seem to think the more money you spend, you're necessarily going to improve those outcomes. But at the same time, we have the two major drivers of our national debt, Social Security and Medicare, while we spend more money on interest on the national debt than we do on defense of the nation, which is an unsustainable trajectory. What is it that you're doing to
listen to him breathing? Jesus Christ, buddy.
Address the effectiveness and the outcomes of our healthcare expenditures, as opposed to just throwing more money at the problem?
Yeah, I mean, throwing money at the problem. It's not what we spend 3 times per capita what European nations spend on healthcare, and we have the worst health outcomes. We're 79th in health outcomes globally. Over the past 20 years, we've lost, or 30 years, we've lost 6 years to Europe in terms of longevity. So our lifespan is even with Europe's now at 6 years behind. As I remarked to Chairman Wyden this morning, Minority Leader Wyden, today we got new data that showed that infant mortality has increased in this country in 2024 for the first time in 20 years. We've got diabetes gone up 98% in 20 years. Nobody's doing anything about it. CDC's job was to make sure that this didn't happen. And what we're going to do is reorganize CDC, but also we've already righted the ship at NIH, FDA, at CMS, and we are going to end the chronic disease epidemic. We are devoting thousands of studies. We're going to devote to identifying the causes, and we're eliminating them. And we're already starting. We're not waiting for everything to come in. We are starting now. We're doing this with food dyes, with grass stands, with dietary guidelines. We're going to get better food and better health for the American public because it's chronic disease that is bankrupting us and destroying our national security.
Look at this. Look at this. Stop, lady. So distracting. Dude, she's like a hawk. Look at this.
It seems to be one of the biggest problems that we have in America today is the trustworthiness of the information that we actually receive from the news media and from any other source. And it's the easiest thing for a Democratic colleague to scare people because they don't emotion what the facts may be. Do you believe COVID-19 was politicized?
Yeah, the whole process was politicized. Senator, I mean, we were lied to about everything. We were lied to about natural immunity. We were lied to about, we were told again and again the vaccines would prevent transmission, they prevent infection. It wasn't true. They knew it from the start it wasn't true because that's what the animal studies and the clinical trials showed. We were told that there was science behind cloth masks. The CDC allowed the teachers union to write the order closing our schools, which hurt working people all over the country, and then pretend it was science-based. All of these issues, and then I can show you, like, for example, Chairman Wyden was talking about me politicizing ACIP, but during COVID, probably the most famous scientist on ACIP was Martin Kulldorff from Harvard, the great world-renowned epidemiologist and vaccinologist, and he criticized the COVID booster mandates. They ejected him from COVID because he wasn't in the orthodoxy. The two biggest health officials at FDA during COVID.
Grando, here we go, dude. This is like what I was talking about. They fucking stacked the deck the last 5 years, 4 years, whatever. It was just stacked the other way, apparently.
Dr. Gruber and Dr. Krause criticized the Biden mandates. Vaccine, President Biden said in August, I would never take that vaccine, the Trump vaccine. And he came in, he mandated it. And then he fired the two top health officials at FDA who said, hey, this thing has not been properly tested. So the whole process was politicized, even today.
So let me, in 15 seconds. So I think you answered yes. It was politicized. And I have concerns that when you look at some of these, the conflicts of interest in peer-reviewed articles in professional journals, and when you point out that even some of the physician associations are conflicted because of the money they get from the pharmaceutical industry, are you committed to trying to make sure that we use the best science and separate and eliminate politics as much as possible?
That is what my
guys. This is, you know what? It's kind of crazy how this is. We've been doing 2x speed this whole fucking time, and I'm completely. I could speed this up a little bit if it was capable of putting this at like 2.5 speed, I would already did that.
Job is, that's what my mission is, eliminate the politics from science.
Senator Bennett, Mr. Secretary, in June, you fired every member. Mr. Secretary, Mr. Secretary, may I have my time back, Mr. Chairman? Thank you. Mr. Secretary, thank you for your attention. In June, you fired every member of the well-qualified panel that was charged with recommending vaccines to the CDC. No one in your job has ever fired every committee member all at once. That month, you told the American people that you were, quote, going to bring great people onto the ACIP panel, not anti-vaxxers. Are you aware that one of the people you put on the panel, Dr. Robert Malone, claimed that the commonly used mRNA vaccine, quote, causes a form of AIDS and can damage children's, quote, brains, their heart, their immune system, and their ability to have children in the future? Yes or no, Mr. Kennedy?
And Dr. Malone is one of the inventors.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Were you aware that he had that view when you appointed him to this panel?
Dr. Malone is one of the, as I said, Dr. Malone is one of the inventors of the mRNA vaccine.
That statement, Mr. Chairman, that statement.
Dude, that's crazy. So this is, I don't know what exact quote he's referencing, but this was one of the things. This was AstraZeneca, which I believe was widely used in Australia. The AstraZeneca vaccine utilized part of the HIV virus, and it was causing people to test positive for HIV. I don't know if that's what Robert Malone was referencing, but that is a fact. That is real life, ladies and gentlemen. They spliced the HIV virus to create one of the COVID vaccines, and it caused people to test positive for HIV. I wonder where they're going to go with this, because this is one of those things where if you don't really lay it out properly, it sounds crazy. Oh my God, you have some doctor on the vaccine panel that said the COVID vaccine gives you HIV. Oh my God, that's insane. But wait, is there any facts behind? Is this what they're actually talking about? Because that's bonkers. This guy actually, is he behind on this, or is he totally trying to misrepresent what's going on?
It is not true that Dr. Malone made, just as it wasn't true when you wrote that, quote, African AIDS is entirely different from Western AIDS. Are you aware that another one of these new members, Dr. Levy, wrote that, quote, evidence is mounting and indisputable that mRNA vaccines cause serious harm, including death, especially among young people? Yes or no? Are you aware that he said that?
I wasn't aware he said it, but I think I agree with it.
You agree with it? It's not true. It wasn't true when he said it. It's not true when you said it. Secretary Kennedy, later this month, your new panel will meet to consider changing vaccine recommendations for American children. In addition to the COVID-19 vaccines, they are set to review recommendations for the hepatitis B vaccine, for measles, for mumps, for rubella and varicella vaccine, and the RSV vaccine. These are common back-to-school vaccinations for children all over the industrialized world. If you change that, you owe parents in Colorado and across the country the benefit of some transparency, I think. If your panel recommends changing the vaccine schedule for children, do you anticipate that fewer children will receive these common vaccinations, yes or no?
What I would say, Senator,
The obvious answer is yes. Should parents and schools of Colorado be prepared for more measles outbreaks as a result of that, Mr. Secretary? How about more mumps outbreaks?
I do not anticipate a change in the MMR vaccine. ACIP is an independent panel. So,
Well, it's a panel you just put those folks on. Far from what you said. They're people with ideas that are completely outside the mainstream.
You mean out of the pharmaceutical paradigm?
Let me just say, Mr. Secretary, all these vaccines that we're talking about today are free and accessible to parents today in America who have the freedom to be able to make that choice for their children. Will that be true after your handpicked panel makes their judgments about these vaccines?
I think that parents should be free
I know you said that before. I do too.
to make their own choices.
So will they be just as free after these?
I assume they will be.
I will hold you to that, Secretary Kennedy, because this is not a podcast. It is the American people's health that's on the line here. This is the last thing, by the way, our parents need when their kids are going back to school, is to have the kind of confusion and expense and scarcity that you're creating as a result of your ideology. I think it's critical for you to share the evidence that this panel will rely on. Will you give the American people 6 months or 6 weeks in advance the record?
Yeah, so this is kind of I don't mind going a little bit later, guys, because this is interesting. So this is the thing that I feel like there's kind of a little bit of a game being played here with this guy talking about choice and stuff. I mean, right? If you don't, I don't know which ones, if it's all of them or which, but I know if you're a certain amount behind with the vaccine schedule, the recommended schedule, then you're like not allowed to go to public school. And I know that there are some people that can get like medical exemptions, maybe religious exemptions. I don't know. I'm not an expert on this. I don't have a kid. This doesn't really apply to me, whatever. I just know what little I know from, paying attention to some of this shit. But it's already, they're talking about giving parents the choice. If RFK Jr., I would, at this point, I would say it's probably would be a good step, even though I'm somebody who is very, very suspicious of these medical treatments. I would say it probably would be a good step to put the information out there. Maybe don't require it like it was for schools. Like they're changing the vaccine scheduling. I don't know if that's the same thing as they're saying, like the requirements for going to public school and all that shit. I mean, I tend to lean towards giving parents more choice. And at this point, they have less of a choice because unless you want to homeschool your kid or, pull teeth to get some kind of exemption, then you don't have a choice. And most people that they don't really know, they're just going to go along with it. The doctor is going to say, oh, these are the ones we recommend. And you might go, we really have to get them? I mean, I'd rather not give my kids vaccines, I guess. I don't really know. I'm just kind of worried. And they go, well, you won't be able to let them go to public school. And they just go, you fuck it, do it. I don't know anything about this. Just give them you're a doctor, right? Yeah. So just give them what you recommend. So that's sort of the situation that we got now. I mean, I think it's more choice if you put more information out there, let some of the voices be heard of people who feel like this isn't a good idea. All of these parents who have won in the vaccine courts proving that their child was injured by vaccines and got paid out by the federal government. Let more of these people's voices be heard, and let's really have this conversation and look at all available data and stop blacklisting and throttling this conversation from the internet. How about that?
That they're going to rely on to make these decisions? Will you make it transparent for the American people?
All the evidence is transparent.
Will you make it in advance transparent for the American people so they can comment on it?
All the evidence is transparent for the first time in history, and you were never there complaining.
Yeah, no. I understand. Grano Reaper, I know that. Yeah, they tested the HIV false positive people you mentioned later on, and they became negative. I believe that's true. 100% of that, but that's not the point. If you have to understand, this is one of the things too that Alex Jones talked about, and this is it's a funny skit, but Howard Stern did a lot of promotion for the Kizovid Vizaxizines, and they did a whole bit. Maybe I can find it on YouTube real quick, but they did a whole bit making fun of Alex Jones for saying Alex Jones said very early on that the vaccines cause HIV. And if anyone like Alex Jones or Robert Malone said early on that one of the vaccines gives people HIV, they were more correct than everybody else saying that that's retarded and impossible. But it turns out they're using part of the HIV virus, and it caused people to test positive. So, I mean, it's not like complete quackery. That's what I'm getting at. I'm not saying that they actually had HIV long term. I know that that's supposedly not true.
And the pharmaceutical companies were picking those people and then running their products through with no safety. You can characterize it any way you want. I quoted them today. What I said was accurate. What you said were lies. You just moving the Titanic.
Are you saying that the mRNA vaccine has never been associated with myocarditis or pericarditis?
I am simply trying to say that the people that you have put on that panel after firing the entire
question.
No, I'm asking the questions here. I'm asking the questions.
Uh-oh. This is getting fun.
I'm asking questions for Mr. Kennedy on behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time in the history of our agency.
Senator Cassidy.
Dang, that got heated.
Thank you. I'll try and restore a little calm here. And I'm approaching this as a doctor, not as a senator. I'm concerned about children's health, seniors' health, all of our health. And I applaud you for joining the president in a call for radical transparency. Thank you for that. I said yesterday, I believe it, that President Trump deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed. If he had been President Obama, he would have gotten it. But because of Operation Warp Speed, forcing the federal government to come to a vaccine development within 10 months when others said it couldn't be done, we saved millions of lives globally, trillions of dollars, we reopened economies, incredible accomplishment. Mr. Secretary, do you agree with me that the president deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed?
Yeah, absolutely, Senator.
So let me ask you, but you just told Senator Bennett that the COVID vaccine killed more people than COVID.
Wait, that was a I did not say that.
Okay, then let me ask, because you also...
Senator, I just want to make clear, I did not say that.
We'll check the record. That's a question of fact. You also said that you were also...
I didn't hear him say that. What the fuck? I don't even think that's true yet. I mean, there's so much debate to be had about how, cause of death is denoted and all of that shit, but I don't even necessarily think that that's true. And I'm extremely anti-kizovidvizaxizine.
Lead attorney for the Children's Health Defense, you engaged in multiple lawsuits attempting to restrict access to the COVID vaccine. Again, it surprises me that you think so highly of Operation Warp Speed when, as an attorney, you attempted to restrict access.
I'm happy to explain why.
I have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. It also surprises me because you canceled, or HHS did, but apparently under your direction, $500 million in contracts using the mRNA vaccine platform that was critical to Operation Warp Speed. Again, an accomplishment that I think President Trump should get a Nobel Prize for. You canceled $500 million in contracts. Now, I grew up in a middle-class family, so $500 million seems just canceled. It seems like an incredible waste of money. But it also seems like a commentary upon what the president did in Operation Warp Speed, which is to create a platform by which to create vaccines. So this seems inconsistent that you would agree with me the president deserves a tremendous amount of credit for this.
Is this a question, Senator Cassidy, or is this a speech that you don't want me to answer? Why don't I answer that question? Please, if it's a question.
But be tight, please.
First of all, the reason that Operation Warp Speed was genius is it did something nobody had ever done. I don't think any president but President Trump could do it. It got the vaccine to market that was perfectly matched to the virus at that time when it was badly needed because there was low natural immunity and there were people getting very badly injured by COVID. And then, but he was also running therapeutics like hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin and protocols for treatments, and there were no mandates.
Okay, I have another question, so please stop.
That's why I began litigating against President Biden's mandates. Now,
so let me go on because
in terms of me canceling those contracts,
I have limited time, Mr. Secretary. I'm sorry. You called.
Man, I wish we could get the full answer to that because that's a really good question. And here, and RFK had a point. Is this an actual question you want answered, or is this a monologue? And I think it was meant to be a monologue to discredit him because he's really was just starting to get to the meat of that, and now he got cut off. I would like to see exactly where, because he's talking about that's where it gets interesting. The rest of the beginning of that answer is real easy stuff, but the canceling of the contracts, that is like, okay, well, if you think Operation Warp Speed was such a good thing, then why are you trying to stop people from getting the product that is the result of Operation Warp Speed? That's a good question.
And rightly so, that we should restrict participation in agencies for those with conflict of interest. I would like to submit for the record a evaluation of the conflict of interest of those who are on the ACIP and the Vaccines and Related Biologic Products Advisory Board. It was not 97% as alleged, rather it was 6.9%, and it was 1.2%, I think, for the other panel.
Without objection.
Now, I am concerned, though, because many of those whom you have nominated for the ACIP board. Excuse me, can I have my time back? Yes. What I am concerned about is that many of those whom you've nominated for ACIP have received revenue as serving as expert witnesses for plaintiffs' attorneys suing vaccine makers. Now,
damn, guys, we're already 50. We're almost an hour. We're almost a third of the way through this. I got to go in a couple minutes, but I'm glad we just Grando, I'm glad you got me interested, because this is interesting, man.
One of my colleagues in another setting alleged that you seem more interested in settlements than science. If we put people who are paid witnesses for people suing vaccines, that actually seems like a conflict of interest. Real quickly, do you agree with that?
No, I don't. It may be a bias, and that bias, if disclosed, is okay. It's not
See, this is Grando. This is what I'm talking about here, and I haven't watched this, but this is exactly RFK's thinking right along the same lines as I'm thinking. It's a bias, but it's not a conflict of interest, unless, like I've said it 10 times, unless there's an ongoing lawsuit that this is going to change the outcome.
It's not a financial. Let me finish up. You also told Senator Wyden at the outset that you didn't want to take vaccines away from people. And as I conclude, I would like to say this. Because of the conflicting recommendations made about COVID. This is from Eric Erickson, good conservative out of Atlanta, Georgia, occasionally gives me help. My wife has stage 4 lung cancer. She's one of the people the COVID vaccine actually helps. Thanks to the current mess at HHS, CVS is unable to get her vaccine. Secondly, an email from a physician friend of mine. Hey, Bill, I'm not even sure what I'm asking, but we're all confused and concerned about who can get the COVID vaccine. We are having our attorney try and render an opinion, but there's no firm guidance and concern about liability if vaccines are given to a patient requested but not on the current CDC list. Pharmacists are requiring a prescription now even for patients over 65, creating a huge headache. I submit these for the record.
Without objection.
I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
Senator Cantwell.
You're wrong.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Following up on that same line as
You're wrong. So let me see. Give me 1 second, guys, to find this, because the Attorney General, I believe, in Florida, what did he just do? It was something controversial. I think it was something with the Vizaxizines. I think they took away all the recommendations in Florida, or something crazy like that. Hold on. Because I saved the video. We can just look it up if we have to, but I saved the video of him talking about it. Maybe I got it on the Twitter here. I think I do. God damn you, Twitter. I know I saved it. Where is it? Come on. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. We'll get you guys. We're getting out of here in a second. I'm just going to show you guys this one thing. I'm going to watch the rest of this on my own time. The hearing. So yeah, major breaking. Hold on. Let me pause it. Let's read this. Surgeon General of Florida just announced all vaccine mandates in Florida will be ended, and the room erupted. All, not just Kizovid, all of them. So let's see what's up.
But what I'm most excited about is an announcement that we're going to make, that we're making now, which is that the Florida Department of Health, in partnership with the governor, is going to be working to end all vaccine mandates in Florida law. All of them. All of them.
Wow. Yeah, Dutch Duke mandates. They're not saying just for I know this. There's probably some people that are lost in subtleties or something. They're not saying we're no longer giving vaccines to anyone ever. They're saying no more mandates. Yes, thank you for clarifying. There's got to be someone that'll stumble across this and go, "Oh my God."
All of them.
I mean, it still might be risky, but you know, it's we're talking about just getting rid of mandates.
Every last one of them. Yeah. Yeah. Every last one of them. All of them.
What the fuck? That's a lot of people doing a standing ovation. That's pretty crazy. There's a lot of kooks here in Florida. I'm here with my people. These are my people.
Every last one of them. Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery. Okay? Who am I as a government or anyone else, or who am I as a man standing here now to tell you what you should put in your body? Who am I to tell you what your child should put in your body? I don't have that right. Your body is a gift from God. What you put into your body,
Careful. He almost said your body is your choice. Careful there.
you put into your body is because of your relationship with your body and your God. I don't have that right. Government does not have that right. They want you to believe they have that right. And unfortunately, they've been successful. They've been successful.
Oh, Grando, you said in the transcript he didn't say what the senator said he said? Confirmed, AG is pro-choice, yeah. Dutch Duke, no. Look, that's very kind. You got to hold on to those. They might go up in value someday. Now that I've stopped doing the free prostate milkings, those should go up in value. You understand? I I give out a free one every single night. So every day those went down in value technically. It's a new one every single day. But now that they're limited, value might go up. People will start wanting their prostate milked. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys, I got to get the fuck out of here. I need some sleep. I got to be at work early. I'm fucking over it. Grand Reaper, TFP ran off with 90% of those milkings. I guess he's technically back. We still have to chat. I don't know. I was gonna have him call in during the show tonight. I thought he wanted to call in during the show yesterday, but now I think he wants to have a private conversation. I think he wants to, he doesn't want to publicly, in front of everybody, humiliate me by telling me he's moved on and now he's Scott Starbird's top fan. And they're going to, he's going to help co-host Scott Starbird's show tomorrow. Maybe they're going to turn that into a full-time deal. I don't know. I think he's trying to let me down lightly and not in front of everybody, just to be kind to me. We'll see. No, I love him. All right, guys. Tomorrow's going to be wild. I got to get out of work early, get my ass over to get all our asses over to the movie theater. Are the milkings transferable to Scott? Yes, they are. Yes, he can do that. Tomorrow, yeah, guys, we'll see. What'd they say? 6:30, I think they said the red carpet. Ooh, I did abs today, guys. Ooh, I did the abs. Shit. But what was I? Yeah, red carpet should start. What did they say? 6:30, I think. So I should be live before that. And the movie starts at 7:30. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm excited, guys. It should be wild. It's going to be me, Bob Cook, Adam Wiley, and White Ice Tea doing a circle jerk and then running up into that theater and wiling the fuck out. Okay? That's what we're looking forward to for tomorrow. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. I'll try to get you guys, please, everybody, you have to remember, you got to watch on the YouTube. Tomorrow, when I'm going to be just from my phone, so I can't I'm not, maybe there is a way, but I'm not sure how to. I'm pretty much just going to be streaming to YouTube. I'm not going through StreamYard tomorrow. So you have to watch on the YouTube. If there's anybody that's watching me right now, I know that, well, yeah, there's some people on Twitter and Facebook watching me right now. So if you're watching me somewhere but YouTube, you have to come subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tomorrow we are doing exclusive content. I'm going to be live from the premiere of the Bubba the Love Sponge Hulk Hogan sex tape documentary. Okay? And there's a lot of drama with all this. There's going to be a bunch of people showing up, big names. There's going to be a bunch of people down there. It's going to be wild. So stick with me. I'll try to get some good footage, get you guys on the red carpet with me, and maybe even show you inside the theater and whatever. And then after, if I can, I think they're doing a Q&A. So stay tuned for the second stream. We're doing 2 streams tomorrow, probably. We're doing the stream before, and then if I can, I'll get some of the Q&A. And I would like to wait to do my review of the film. I might wait to do that on Monday so we can talk about the full thing, and I can show you guys clips from Bubba's show on Monday. I'm sure they're going to be breaking down everything that happened there at the theater and how it was received and all of that shit. So yeah, we'll probably get into all of that, the review and all that shit on Monday. But stay tuned, guys. Tomorrow's going to be cool. So stick with me. Check it on my page at around like 6 or so. Oh, yeah. No Scott Starboard tomorrow. So, yeah, guys, be up in my chat around 6:30 whenever I go live. And then I'll go live again at like after 2 or however many hours. I think it's like 2 hours long or something. Then I'll go live again. So, all right, lovers, I'm excited. I got to get some sleep somehow. I got to pack like 3 more bongs so I can get to bed, because I'm excited. So I'll see you then. Everybody take care. Love you. Thank you for the support. I'll see you guys in the chat tomorrow. There's Scott Starboard. Love you. Love you, cuzzy. Everybody tune in tomorrow. It's gonna be wild. All right, I'll see you. Mwah.